to you and yours. Okay? No, it didn't go. Okay, so let me say morning now. Morning, yeah. MORNING. Where is Drumstick this morning? I'm saying all this and still looking for her. Morning to you and yours. Right. So that's going to be the first thing in the chat on social media there because I'm already live. Yeah, you'll be seeing a picture of the studio, 1, 2, 3 microphones there, 1, 2, 3 headphones. You're seeing the VU meters right here. That's my finger you're seeing right there. And then the computer on the left is the one I'm talking to. At this time, there's another one on my right, and there's another one further to my left that's responsible for streaming to all you lovely people. 107.9 inside of Fun City, Brooklyn. Good morning, Jay Wanda. How you doing? Great. Now, drumsticks. I'm still waiting. It's what, 13 minutes moving on after the 7 o'clock. Okay, I think we have her. Drums, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How you doing, my dear?
I'm great.
I was getting scared that you ain't coming this morning now.
No, don't get scared.
All right. So tell me.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you. The reading from the Word of God. Psalm 57. Be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me, for my soul thirsteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of the wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpassed. I will cry unto God most high, unto God, that perfect maketh all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow up me. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among the lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire, even the Son of Man, whose teeth are sharp and as his arrow, and the tongue is shaped as a sword. This is the end of the scripture reading.
And thank you so very much, my dear. How was your night?
It was great. I had a good night rest.
And what about the weather? How does it look like on your side this morning?
Outside looking bright.
Outside looking bright?
Yep.
Well, that's good news. That's good news.
I don't know for later.
Well, I agree. I don't know for later, too. I don't know for later what's going to happen.
Okay.
But it looks bright by my side, too. It looks bright by my side. Yeah. Anyway, take care of yourself.
Well, I'm wishing you a nice and beautiful day.
Thank you, my dear. And you too, yeah?
All right, bye.
Okay, great. Bye-bye.
With what you do and how you're doing it. If you do, when you're doing it, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Dear customer, please help us limit the potential impact of COVID-19. If you have cold, flu, or COVID-19 symptoms, please postpone your visit to Grenlec. We recommend using online banking to make payments, available through Co-op Bank, Republic Bank, and FCIB. You can also use check drop boxes at each of our locations. For bill balances and other information, call 237. For additional support, email customersupport@grenlec.com.
Green's Concept introduces the latest innovation in air conditioning technology in Grenada, providing the most energy efficient, environmentally friendly air conditioning units in Grenada. Using a natural refrigerant, our air conditioning unit systems are up to 40% more energy efficient than the current units used in the Grenadian market. Powerful cooling while using less electricity and very inexpensive. That means more money in your pocket. We offer free delivery to all locations of installation and installed by top quality trained professional engineers with over 20 years experience in the business. Contact Green's Concept 417-5460 or 442-1663. Email greensconcept@gmail.com. At Green's Concept, we cool you and the planet.
Greens Concepts announces special prices on 18,000 and 24,000 BTU units. You have been saving on power, now save on prices. Call us today.
Hey, I am Corporal 85 Grant, attached to CRD Eastern Division, reminding you that incest and all other sexual violence is a crime.
Me say no make them take advantage of you.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. I say we have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. when you're moving. Which direction you're going. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk. Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
When you talk, how you walk, whatever you do, that whatever. That's what the song says. 23 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. That's our time on Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. By the time I finish saying all that, it's gone past 23 minutes after the hour, you know. I must give the time in front, so I say 24 and it's 23. What do you think? Good morning. Don't laugh.
Good morning, I
Right.
won't.
Good.
How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing, Cassia?
I'm good.
Miss you much.
Well, I'm back.
Yeah, nice to have you back, dear.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Tell us.
Okay, good morning to the listeners of Real FM. Here is the weather for today, Tuesday, 19th October 2021. Presently at the airport, conditions are fair. Winds are from the east at 5 miles per hour. Pressure 1012.9 millibars, which is above normal and rising. Present temperature 27.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 90%. Over the past 24 hours, there was 8.3 millimeters of rainfall at the airport, which brings the total for the month to 114.1 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast, valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light to moderate isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunder. Maximum temperature today 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. Tides are currently falling and will be low at 12:30 p.m., high at 5:30 p.m. Sunset today 5:48, sunrise tomorrow 5:58. Again, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light to moderate isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunder. From the Met Office, I am Cassia Johnson.
Thank you very much, Cassia. And hey, not so long. Next time, take a vacation like 2 days.
2 days? 2 days is not enough.
I know, but duh, so what you leave me to do?
I'm leaving the others with you.
Nah! Don't tell them I said no, but
Okay.
no.
They're probably listening, so they'll hear you.
Well, chupu, they hear. Anyway, they hard. Take care of yourself, yeah?
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Cassia Johnson from the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office giving us the latest weather. Good morning to you, Tamika Moses. What's up? What's taking place? Sion Lewis, how you doing? Errol Bonaparte, Jackie Raymond, you checked in already. Nice to have you. Landon Jane, what's up? Vanessa Lalji, how you going, girl? Trust that everything is fine with you. I told you I've got something coming up at 7:30, something very special. That should be about 4 minutes and 30 seconds away. And I see this guy, Mr. Paul Belgrave. He's already ready for me. No, I ain't ready for you yet, Paul. Relax yourself. Well, at least you could smile, man. I'm to you. Come on. Right, good. That's how I am. We're going to have fun this morning, Paul. You better believe that in about 3 minutes or so. We're going to have real fun. So yeah, as I try to make sure that everything is fine with me on this side of the fence, I want to just rush back to something yesterday and to say that we spoke. I believe I made some friends yesterday. I believe I had some sympathizers with me yesterday. And of course, in everything you do, you know you're going to make a couple of enemies here. You're going to have a couple of people who don't like what you do. But that is why you have variations. You know, it's like the bosses. If you don't like a particular bus, you ain't getting onto that bus to go anywhere. Even if it's the last bus to go there, you're just not getting on. You prefer to do so and look for a ride. So that's how it is. That's why we have variations. We have different things, different strokes for different folks in that kind of a way. No. I must say the issue I spoke about for about 75% of my program yesterday morning, which had to do with a gentleman who's living in deplorable conditions. There's some people who responded. And again, Trisha McFarlane in Backstreet, girl, you are the hero. Yeah, Trish and Jendi and others, you guys are top of top. in terms of dealing with that gentleman. Saw Tris this morning going for her morning walk. And I'm like, yo, everything good? She said, yeah, going for the walk, and then to go back and handle the gentleman there in terms of making sure that he has something to eat for the morning. I did pass and look for him, and he's in good spirits. And speaking of being in good spirits, here's what. When I spoke yesterday, around about after 5, 6 o'clock, I got a call from the nurses, the head nurse, and that's Nurse Noel at the health center, the right here in Stairs. And we chatted, and she says, Andre, please ensure that something works for Mr. John. I'm like, yo, I'm working seriously so as to make sure that something happens in relation to Mr. John. And she said, well, the nurses, we did go to check him yesterday, and all his vitals are good. We're really, really happy with his understanding where he is and what is happening. But we're very happy that we're able to check him, and as he's made a full recovery from whatever illness that he has had, and he is in good spirits. His bodily functions, if you want to call it that way, his vitals, that's the word she used. His vitals are up there, better than a lot of people. I'm like, okay, great, I love to hear that. But the problem with him is that, and she didn't tell me that, but I can see that that's the problem with him, is that he's not able to get exercise, so he can't get up and walk and stuff like that. So we really need to get him to a facility which would afford him to have better attention. Now, I have someone who's indicated to me, Dre, I am going to assist in terms of working with you on this one. And I want to thank that person, because some people, they do things and they do it behind the scenes. They don't want to be named. They don't want their names to be mentioned. They just want to know that what they did is something good. So thank you to that person for doing what you're doing so as to ensure that we can get our friend Stephen John. Yeah, that's his name. I didn't even know that was his name. Yeah, we call him Mackie. Yeah, Mackie we call him. And I've been calling him that all my life. I remember when he was a street cleaner and all that. Anyway, you friends, just stay right there, because I tell you what, remember I told you I was going to have that program this morning? Yes, most definitely. And it's going to come in a couple of ticks. Stay with us.
Republic Bank advises customers of its Wharf branch and the general public of the change in operating hours as follows. Full service will resume effective Wednesday, October 20th. Our 24-hour ATM and Republic online services remain operational to serve you. Stay connected on Facebook and Twitter for more information as we continue to bank safely together.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Now that's good news for the people on the western side of the island, especially Sir Mark. That's great news. I don't think they could have had it better. And then to have Mr. Belgrave and Kurt. Kurt, we need to see you, man. We need to get that picture going, Kurt. We can't be... there you are, Kurt. And the positioning, Kurt, of maybe you need to tilt the top of that. Right, you got it right there in the movies, Kurt. You looking better than Arnold Schwarzenegger. But don't mind me, yeah? I can be crazy sometimes. So I did indicate to you, my friends, that I'll be having a discussion this morning. We have very educated discussions on the radio station from time to time. And this morning, I'll be speaking to Paul Belgrave and Kurt from the Republic Bank Grenada Limited. And we'll be asking them a couple of questions. Good morning to you, Bernadette Purcell. Everything good? I trust that everything is fine with you. And also good morning to Faithlin Haley Douglas. Now let's get back to Mr. Kurt McFarlane and Mr. Paul Belgrave. And Mr. Paul Belgrave is the assistant manager at the head office. And also manager at the head office is Mr. Kurt McFarlane. Now, when we talk Republic Bank Grenada, the interesting thing is that there is a Mrs. Naomi White Diali. Is she? I think she's linked to that bank and she got a promotion pretty soon. Well, probably Kurt or one of them can tell us that. Let's say good morning to them as we add them to our particular streams. And good morning to you. First, I'll say good morning to Mr. Paul Belgrave. And good morning to you, Paul. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Donald. I'm fine. Thanks for
Nice,
having me.
nice. Well, thanks for waking up kind of extra early this morning. Well, maybe you wake up earlier than that anyway.
Usual
Do
time.
you? Usual time. Okay, your
Usual
usual
time.
time.
Yes.
And good morning to you, Mr. Kurt McFarlane. Good. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
All right,
Good
Kurt.
morning.
You know the reason why I left you for last in terms of saying good morning is that there are McFarlanes in St. Patrick, and I was wondering, well, is that are you from? Do you have links or do you have roots in St. Patrick's, Kurt?
Well, with the closeness to Carriacou, it's possible. Actually from
Well,
Carriacou.
well, I guess the McFarlanes must come from somewhere. So probably because all the Bidos in Grenada they come from Carriacou. All anytime you see a Bido, just point Carriacou and they're gone. They're all the Bidos. So it could be all the McFarlanes come from Carriacou too. That could be a
Okay.
situation there. And the interesting thing, if you are, or if you do have relatives in St. Patrick, then the manager, and I feel that the manager at the MNIB. There's a young lady who's the manager at the MNIB. That could be your cousin. According to the fella in Trinidad, that is your family.
Yes, well, it's quite possible. Maybe there are some of them I haven't discovered yet.
Okay, so we're here to talk about Republic Bank Grenada Limited. And just to let folks know that we're having a bit of issue with my personal camera. I'm still trying to get it up and running, but I have you two guys. So folks know who I am anyway. Nobody wants to see my ugly face this morning, my mug shot this morning. So folks know who you guys are, who I am. So let them focus on you.
Okay.
Let's start to talk about conversion. What is conversion in bank terms? Kurt, I want you to answer that. What is conversion?
Well, thanks, Andre, and good morning to our listeners and viewers. You may know that Republic Bank has a proud history of providing financial services to our Caribbean region over the years. And you may also recall back in 2019 in November, we expanded our original footprint when we acquired Scotiabank's operations in a number of islands, including Grenada. Right? So up to this point, however, we are still operating on the Scotiabank's banking system in order to maintain ongoing service to our customers. So the conversion that we are discussing this morning is actually referring to the transition from Scotiabank's systems to Republic Bank's new banking platform, right? And this conversion is going to be take place in a phased approach, and it will bring exciting features and benefits to our customers. So we have started with the customers of our Halifax Street and Grand Anse branch. So that is the Steels Complex branch for customers who currently bank with that branch of Republic Bank. But our customers of our 6 branches can rest assured that your turn will soon follow.
Okay, but Kurt, tell us about some of the changes or the benefits that goes along with conversion as it relates to your debit card system.
Right. Yes, Andre, and thank you for this opportunity to share some of the details about our debit cards with you and with our customers and viewers. Right. So the debit card, as we know, has become a critical payment option for many of our customers, and we would like to help them to better prepare for this change. Right. So recall I explained a minute ago that the conversion from Scotiabank system to Republic Bank system has begun, right? So customers are currently using one of 2 debit cards, a red Scotiabank branded card or a blue Republic Bank branded card, right? But recall also, I said that we are currently operating on Scotiabank's banking system. So these cards are actually being used currently on the Scotiabank banking systems. All right, so once we transition to the Republic Bank systems, the old red and blue cards that customers have in their possession now will no longer work, right? So the reason we are now issuing them with a new debit card, right? And this card will maintain many of the features and benefits that they currently enjoy, and it would also bring some new features and benefits to our customers.
And quickly here, Kurt, what would it cost the customer to obtain this new card? What would it cost them?
Well, the card is free of charge. The bank is actually, we have actually started rolling out the new plastics to the customers. So there's no charge for it.
Okay. Coming to you for a minute, Paul, in case you start to feel left out and you want to get up and go and get a cup of coffee or something, but I want you to speak to me about the replacement of the cards that customers use and how these new, how do you expect these new debit cards to be rolled out to the customer?
Okay, well, thanks for the question. Well, since October 6th, the bank has commenced the process of distributing the cards. One would appreciate that it's thousands of cards that the bank will need to distribute to its thousands of customers. And in view of COVID and the need for social distancing, the bank saw it prudent to find an offsite. And that if we were to do this exercise at the branches at the time when other customers are conducting their regular transaction, we can be having some chaos at the branches. So the decision was taken, and the bank has located a site to the south of the island where these cards are being distributed. So the plan is that every day customers are being sent messages via email and SMS messages, batches of 300 and batches of 400, inviting them to come to the site on a given day. So, like today, Tuesday, we would be sending out for the customers on Friday, inviting them to come to the site on Friday to receive their cards. The site is generally open from 7:30 to 5 because we do appreciate that there are some customers who might only be able to pick up their card before they go to work, so that we have commenced the operation at 7:30, and there are some who may only be able to pick up their card after finishing work, and so we extended the time to 5. Again, 5 because of the restrictions, the curfew, and to give staff sufficient time in order to get home. So it's really at that site. We have been communicating to customers. We have found though that there are some customers whom we have sent the messages to, and we have received feedback so that they did not show up at the site. And so we tried to call, and we have found that the customers have indicated, well, I thought this message wasn't for me because I already have a blue card. But as Kurt hinted, the blue card that you got recently is still pinned to the Scotia system. And so you would need to get one of these new cards that we are now rolling out in order that you'll be able to access the new Republic platform when it's rolled out. So in the event that you have not yet gotten your message and you're a bit excited, maybe you can't wait to get your card, you can reach out to the bank and we will certainly arrange for you to receive your card. But it is possible also that you have not yet been called.
All right, the one little glitch I'm seeing here, and I'm sure that the bank, Republic Bank, will speak to that and sort to iron it out. What of the customer who is in St. Patrick and having to travel to the south of the island to pick up the card? That might be a tad inconvenient. You care to respond to that?
Yeah, certainly. We did consider it. Should a customer have an issue, it's really difficult for them to access the site. We ask them to reach out to the branch. Republic Bank is concerned about all of its customers, even those on the sister house, and so arrangements are being made for them. We can assure you, it's not just with this rollout, but the bank has even put systems in place so that even in the parishes, you know, at one time, Scotia had a branch in Grenville that was since closed, and the bank has put provision in place so that you being a former Scotia customer, now in the Republic Fold, living in St. Patrick's or in St. Andrew, you can visit the Grenville branch and we'll be able to assist. Um, and so we were saying that if you live in the outer parish and it's really difficult for you to access the site when you would receive your message, we invite you to reach out to your branch, and then we can make special arrangements for you, so you are not left out.
Wonderful. That is absolutely brilliant. But if I'm going to St. George's today to pick up my card, do I walk it hand swinging here, Paul, or what do I do? I have to come with something to pick up that new card?
But you can certainly walk with hand swinging, because what we ask you to bring, you can just put it in your pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you can really walk with hand swinging. All we ask of you is a current valid identification, because we won't want to be given Andrew Donald card to Andrew Batiste. And we need to protect Andrew's privacy, protect his account, protect his business. And so we ask of you to work with valid identification. We also ask that you work with your existing Scotia card, whether it's the red or the blue. One of the things that can help, we did not ask for this before. So in the previous communication, we may not have sent out this, but what we have found is that you may have 2 or 3 accounts that are pinned to the card. We have information of the primary account that is pinned to the card. So we are asking that if you can identify all the accounts that you want pinned to the card, and by that I mean you may have accounts that you do not want to access through the ATM, you do not want to access them through point of sale. And so maybe these are special savings account that you just want, to just save. So that those accounts that you want pinned to the card, we'll be asking if you can maybe check your IB, internet banking, current internet banking, and make a list of those accounts so that when you come to the site, it can be much easier. So just to recap, valid ID, your existing Republic card, and your list of accounts that you want pinned to the card. And you can still walk with hand swinging because you can carry that in your pocket.
Paul, but you may at that particular time you may not want to pin X account to the card. But what happens if 2, 3 months down the road, a year down the road, you decide, you know what, I believe I want to pin this account? Can you now return to the bank and say, can you do this?
Certainly. Again, you just reach out to your branch then. You indicate, at the time I didn't want that account to be pinned to the card, but I now desire that, and certainly that is not a problem.
And if I have 3 accounts pinned to the card, when I go to the ATM, would I be having 3 different passwords to use so I know if I'm accessing account A, B, or C, then that is what I'm doing because of the password that I'm going to use?
No,
is that how it works?
One password. When you access the account, you will then be able to choose the account that you want to do the transaction from. So you don't need a password for this account. It's one password. You can access your suite of accounts, and you can then choose, I want to make this withdrawal from this account.
How does it, Paul? Again, are you afforded right there and then at the machine? I'm standing at the machine. Card is in. Accounts have been accessed. Can I now transfer monies from account A to C or B? Can I do that right there?
You're referring to the new card that we're rolling out?
Yes, the new card that you're rolling out. Can I, if I'm there and I have 3 accounts pinned to the card,
right,
but I'd like to move some money from one account to another one. Is it possible for me to do that at the machine?
Well, certainly. I mean, you can do it now, and you'll be able to do it then. That's provided that all the accounts are linked on the system. But in speaking specifically to the card that we are now rolling out, I just want to be careful in saying that these cards are in preparation or anticipation for the conversion. We have thousands of cards to roll out. We have new checkbooks to roll out, new credit cards, new PIN mailers to access your credit cards, so that all of this is in preparation for the conversion. We can't wait on conversion day or the week before conversion in order to be rolling out these thousands of cards. So that the card that you're receiving now, we asking of you to secure it, you put it away, keep your PIN in mind, and the bank will notify the general public when this card becomes effective. Once it becomes effective and you have accounts that are pinned to the card, you can transfer from one account to the other, provided that it's pinned to the card.
I keep hearing talk here about cards having to have a chip. As a matter of fact, in 2019, when I traveled to the US, I had a card from a particular bank, and I attempted to pay for a purchase using the card. And I was told, oh, sorry, we can't accept that card. It doesn't have the chip. Tell us about that in relation to what you're going to roll out.
Right, Andrea, I'll take that one.
Thank you,
So
Kurt.
yes, our cards, in fact, our existing cards have the chip and pin technology.
Mhm.
And yeah, you can actually use it at any of those point of sale, at any supermarket, wherever the chip and pin technology exists. And the new card is also going to have that chip and pin. So customers can rest assured, right, that the current features and benefits, many of the current features and benefits that you have with your existing card will be transferred to your new card. And we also have some exciting new things coming with the new card as well, right? So once you get that new card, as Paul mentioned and I had mentioned before, it would actually only become useful to you when we transition to the Republic Bank platform. Right, so I just like to reiterate that point as well, and rest assured that many of the features and benefits that you have on your existing card will be transferred and existing once we transition to the new system.
You speak here about chip and pin. Does that mean that I no longer have to find a pen? All I do is just enter my pin and I'm gone. And I don't have to be searching my pockets or having to ask the cashier, can I borrow your pen? Is that what we're going to move to now?
Exactly. So voila, you enter your PIN, the transaction amount is entered. Well, the cashier would do whatever she has to do, enter the amount of the transaction. And once you put your PIN, transaction is closed, you get your receipt, and that's it.
Okay, somebody's asking here, is this new card contactless? I don't understand it, but I don't know if you could. You guys are more intelligent than me. You're in banks. I don't. What does that mean? Anybody? Is this new card contactless? I don't understand.
Yes. Sorry,
Paul?
the lighting seemed to
Yeah, I
have gone
know.
from
Yeah, but I'm still seeing you. I'm still seeing your card. I can anybody understand this one? I'm not getting it.
Yes, so Andrew, you've actually hinted to one of the new features that we're going to bring with our new card, right?
Well, it's a listener. It's a listener, not necessarily me. I'm not taking the listener's
Oh,
credit.
well, and that's fine,
Yes.
and I welcome the opportunity here to actually let you know about it. So yeah, so our new cards are also going to be contactless, and it's going to allow you to we're going to set a limit for your protection as well. So up to a certain amount, you can actually just pass your card close to that point of sale machine, and again, once the point of sale is equipped with that technology, you can actually tap your card or pass it close to the point of sale, and your transaction will be authorized without even entering a PIN this time, right? So we're taking it a step further in terms of the technology and the ease of you conducting your transactions.
Oh, because a friend of mine I remember in Canada would speak about okay, can I tap? And is that what you're talking about?
Yes. So often
okay.
referred to as tap and go.
Yeah, tap and and
Yes.
here's the viewer or listener just posted tap and go. Well, this girl she's on top of it. She's
Yes.
on top of it. I bet she's a Republic customer. To be on top of it, she must be a Republic customer here.
Yes,
But
I feel strongly that she is.
yes, but that's good news. Are you able, Kurt? Are you able to give us an idea of some of the other advantages, some of the other new things that you seem to be holding back that you're going to be rolling out with this new card? Are you able at this time?
Well, actually, we have a number of other similar sessions like this, and we plan to speak about some of these other features and new things that are coming to you in our upcoming sessions. So I'm asking viewers and listeners to stay tuned to Republic Bank's Let's Talk Conversion, and you're surely going to hear about some of these new things that are coming your way.
All right, but in all of this, no matter what you do these days, and it's coming to you. This one is coming to you, Kurt. No matter what you do these days, there's COVID-19. letters and numbers. This is COVID 19-19, and we know that's COVID-19. So COVID is into every single thing. Speak to the rollout of that card and the same tap and go use and how that makes it a lot more safe for the customers of Republic Bank.
Thank you.
You breaking up there, Paul. I could not Paul, but Kurt. I think you're breaking up. I have no idea why. Let me just test Paul. Paul, are you there with me? Kurt, hold on. Paul, are you there with me? Oh, we seem to have had a little internet glitch there. Could be on my end. Let me do so and double check. Guys, hold a minute. I'll be right with you. I know you're more than likely to be hearing me, but I'll just hold a minute there. Let's see if I'm just trying to hold on there, Kurt. I'm just trying to roll something on the back end here to see what is the issue. Let's do this again. All right, Kurt, are you hearing me? Because your microphone is on mute. All right, Paul, are you hearing me at all? Okay. If you guys are hearing me, here's what I'd like you to do. Can you please go out of the system and follow the same instructions and return? Let's see if that will work, because there seemed to have been a glitch. And I have no idea why that came. It could be an internet issue right there. Could be on my end, could be on your end. So go out of the system and use the same information to come right back in, and I'll wait for you guys. This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Stay with us.
Republic Bank advises customers of its Guelph branch and the general public of the change in operating hours as follows. Full service will resume effective Wednesday, October 20th. Our 24-hour ATM and Republic online services remain operational to serve you. Stay connected on Facebook and Twitter for more information as we continue to bank safely together.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. So we seem to have had an internet glitch here, but I'm not seeing anything on my side. But you know, the internet 99.9% of the time is reliable. You bet your bottom dollar on that. But you know, there's this 0.1. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Carrico, P.D. Martinique, speaking here with the two members of staff of the Republic Bank Grenada. And I believe that Paul is back. Paul, are you hearing me?
I am, Andre. I'm there with you.
Okay, so you're hearing me. That's great. Your picture is just a little bit fuzzy, but don't worry about that. We're dealing with the voice here. The voice is so much more important. And I guess the question that I gave to Kurt, can you answer it? Are you able to respond to that question in relation to COVID, the impact of COVID, yes, and whether or not the card that you're rolling out, how does that impact on the safety?
Certainly. Again, with the tap and go, you keep your card. In fact, you can even keep it in your wallet close to the terminal, so that the cashier doesn't need to interact with your card, so it stays on routine. Even with the the fact that it's not chip and pin, and you just put in your code, there's a lot less interaction because, as you would have indicated, you needed a pen. The cashier will print the slip, at the sign, give it back to the cashier. Now with the chip and pin, you just punch in your 4 digits, and that's it. So the technology is just really timely, it's playing its part and helping us.
Paul, stop here, please. The internet, I'm not going to say it's on your side. I think we have to take equal blame for that here. But the internet on somebody's side is not doing too well. I believe that I believe that we can and we need to deploy a better quality to our customers that are listening. So I wanted to suggest that we put a hold on it, put a stop on it, and tomorrow morning, God's will, round about maybe the same time, we do a 15-minute makeup with both yourself and thing again, if you are available. If you are, then you can nod because we're definitely not hearing you. Tomorrow morning, did you hear? You heard me, right? If you nod, I'd know that you heard me. Okay. All right, but in any event, I would suggest, because we really are having a serious challenge in relation to hearing yourself, and even Kurt has not been able to return to the chat. So it means that we're having some issues there. I will speak to the young lady who I spoke to before, and we will arrange a makeup of another 15 minutes tomorrow morning, God's will, in relation to this program. So, Paul, thank you so very much. And thanks again to Kurt and to everyone at Republic Bank Grenada who sought to make this possible. Thank you so very much. We do apologize for what was a wonderful conversation that we're having and the abrupt end to it. And apologies across the way.
Republic Bank advises customers of its Guelph branch and the general public of the change in operating hours as follows. Full service will resume effective Wednesday, October 20th. Our 24-hour ATM and Republic online services remain operational to serve you. Stay connected on Facebook and Twitter for more information as we continue to bank safely together.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
Grenada Security Services Limited is looking to hire fully vaccinated male persons from St. Patrick to become a security officer. Eligible persons must be between the ages of 25 to 50 years, good physical condition, have a clean police record, must be able to work flexible hours, and from St. Patrick. Persons with security experience, preferably. Serious persons only. Call us on 405-7456 or 409-0976 or send us an email on gsslimited1984@hotmail.com.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, both of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. I say we have to prepare to meet the challenges of life.
To meet the challenges of life, we have to prepare. Remember I said we're going to have Robert White in at 8 o'clock this morning? Well, I just received a message from Robert. He's somewhere around. Don't know where. But he's somewhere around. Ryan is all right, so let me see if I can do it this way now. Time for Ryan and so? Yeah, let me see if I can get Ryan up and running. What am I doing here? Okay. Let me do this. Okay, so this is Ryan. And let me do this for Stan Phillip. What do I do for Stan Phillip again? I wonder if it's J. J can be for Stan. What do I put in? I'm not remembering. Oh no, I don't want Stanford. I want Stan Phillip. Oh no. For the life of me. What is Stan's thingy? Oh no. Oh boy. All right. Stan, are you listening? Can you please send me your your email address? I'm trying to do so and send you this thing. Oh boy. This is here comes trouble. Here comes the danger. Whatever. We're gonna have him use this microphone here, right? So we're gonna have him use that microphone. Yeah, that one. You can sit wherever, but just draw that microphone to yourself. And here comes trouble. Here comes the danger. Oh boy, he looks really nice in his blue shirt this morning. Better than I do. Let me button my shirt. Mother teach you to button your shirt, Andre. Button your shirt, please. Robert White. No. I didn't ask you to speak as yet. I was just acknowledging your presence. That's all I was doing. Acknowledging your presence here this morning. Do you remember Stan's email address?
No, I don't.
I'm trying to figure out Stan Phillip. STAN. P. No, that's not it. It is some kind of. That is why I don't know why people don't keep email addresses akin to their name and make everything easy for everybody. But they're gonna do all kind of fancy thing, all kind of dummy James thing just to create that email address. It fret me too much. I don't understand them at all. Like they can't tired fret people.
And Ryan asking for the link.
Yeah, it's gonna come. I'm waiting on Ryan's email. See, Ryan, that's there. I type Ryan, it comes up. Type Stan, Stan coming up. Did I say that? Robert, did you hear me say that?
Yeah, well, maybe a representation of the truth.
Okay, so let's go Stan Phillip. STAN. No. PH. Okay. Hold on. No, John Phillip is that. So what is Stan? Did you speak to him? Robert?
No, I didn't.
You didn't get him?
Mm-mm. Ryan says Stan is standing.
but I have it. If it will come up, but it usually does. But I don't remember his email. But okay, let's see. Let's see if David wouldn't do. Oh, there you go. David. Like David and Goliath. Damn. All right, so that's sent off to them right now. So Ryan could come in any moment and Stan. You didn't get Stan yesterday, you said? Didn't get him. That's unfortunate, though. We like to talk to him. Because we're going to be talking pension this morning. Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Pension and gratuity?
No, pensions. Gratuity is a different matter.
What is gratuity?
Gratuity is a quantum of sum that you get. It's like a thank you and appreciative, something after the end of a contractual period. Years of service in some cases. In other cases, it's just a specific time period that you work for. And some of them embedded into a contract.
And you see, sometimes it pays. Yeah, I heard that. But sometimes it pays to pay attention to your phone, eh? Because who would believe that a listener would have Stan's email address? What are the chances of that? Yeah, but Claire did have it. I don't know how she got it. Yeah, but how did she get it? I don't know. But anyway, she had it, so she's able to send it to me. Thank you so much for that. All right, now, how you doing, Bob White?
I am doing good.
How you know?
I feel good. I think I look good.
No. No.
You know?
Yourself and this other guy.
Which one?
This guy who has it all here and nothing here. Your friend. He has it all here and nothing here.
Who Bola?
No. He has it all here and it's even here, but nothing here. That's a nice one, eh?
Dillian?
Oh! That's the guy. That's the guy, the Dillian guy. He has it all here. And let me show the listeners what I'm talking about. Dillian has it all here and nothing here.
Yeah.
So all the hair is hair.
Yeah.
And there is no hair
there.
Or hair. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. So Ryan says good morning, so that means he's standing by patiently to come in. No, he's not. Ryan, where are you? I sent the email, Ryan. Robert, there's a big question I wanted to ask. Oh, there is Ryan. Wow. He has very limited hair right here. So we're gonna add him to the stream. Ooh, and up here, Robert, he has no hair up here. Boy, English language. You know, every time I say English language, I remember this Calypsonian, Robbie. He died. He's a police officer, and he worked in the auxiliary department, I think. And he says English language is a terrible thing because he had brand new stickers upstairs. So he tell you, brother, throw the stickers down for me. If brother felt it outside.
Yeah. Felt in the garbage?
Yeah, he felt in the garbage, right? He say English language, man. Yeah, he passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah. He was one of those that should have won the crown and never did. So let's say good morning to Ryan. Robert, are you going to wear headphones today?
Which one should I use?
That's the interesting thing. Yeah. Which one should you use?
Because thankfully the studio has many.
You're trying to set me up to get Robert. Not because you're Robert. Okay, here's what. Ryan, here's what I want you to do for me. I want you to go back out and come back in. Ryan?
Okay.
I want you to go back out and come back in. I hope you heard that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, so, and we're going to do quickly as he did that. We're going to do the angles. Now we do this. Hold on. Okay. Let me see if I get you, Robert. There you are. So, there you are. And I'm going to show you up in the movies. No, good. So Ryan can come back in. Because I don't know what happened. Okay, there you are, Ryan. Thank you so very much. You're such a nice guy. You still trying to reach Stan, are you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Well, I will continue trying to reach Stan. But nonetheless, let me say good morning to you guys. It's 15 minutes now after the 8 o'clock hour. And yeah, that's how radio works behind the scenes. And you probably wondering, well, what happened to them? Why don't they get on with the thing? That is all the things we have to do. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Andre.
Good morning, Miss Jacob. How are you?
Oh my God, if you know I happy this morning to hear my police officers in Kerikude Coast Guard. But Andre, I just pray for the policemen and them every day, every morning I get up. Well, I catch the right morning, I catch the right time yesterday evening. Just imagine, Brother Andre, it's not growing, they're running, I don't know. They see me, and they catch those culprits. Brother Andre, I don't want to give them rest at all. Jail them for good and forever. Enough is enough.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, sweetheart. God
okay,
bless
bye-bye.
you.
God bless you too,
Bye.
my love. Yeah. So, Robert, I guess you were just speaking there, just to wrap it, you were just speaking about the incident yesterday. Well, the dumb thing yesterday in Carrick. So dumb.
Well, I don't know if it is as dumb as it is disheartening. And
Look,
it's frightening.
I would have
too.
gotten to the disheartening and thing part. But it's really, so please.
Because I tell you this, 2 incidents in just under 2 years, or almost 2 years, within 2 years time span, is frightening. And now I'm not saying it's okay to rob, but the brawn and the bravado where you choose to just at 8:30 in the morning, sun don't even rise good yet, business just opening, and you just brazenly rob a bank. Even expel shots, as I've heard, allegedly expel shots from your firearm and all of that.
Robert, come on. Yeah. Don't use that word, please. Ryan, tell him, please.
I wasn't
Fire
there.
shots.
I wasn't there.
Fire shots. Expel? Put somebody home on it.
Well, okay, yeah.
So you had children there in school?
Plow. And then just go off with a vessel. The interesting thing, though, is one might have thought that, or maybe the natural reaction is, who these people are named, so you start to look among yourselves. Because the figure is only people around you might want to do something like that. To think that persons from another island altogether will zero in on, and this is what we're going to do. So we live in where we from, and go to another country, commit a crime, and move out. That bothered me, and I don't know if that's a prevalent thing, if that keeps happening or so, but that realization just shook me up.
Well, first thing I say, and Ryan, are you there, Ryan? You with us?
Yes,
right?
I am.
Okay, are you aware of what we're talking about?
I saw it briefly just before
Okay.
last time, but no, but I don't know much.
Okay, what happened is that there was as Robert said, a brazen type robbery in Karaku yesterday morning, where 5 guys allegedly from Trinidad and Tobago robbed the bank in Karaku and made off with a boat. I can't call it a speedboat. That's not a speedboat. Speedboat does move faster than that.
Is a Bronco boat?
Yeah.
Well, you should be happy it wasn't a speedboat. Probably wasn't like a jump.
No. But the Coast Guard responded very quickly. And
Kudos to the Coast Guard.
They need all the kudos going to them for that, for a quick response.
Quick response, and the guys came back to show whatever. They're arrested. And I guess system will work the way the system has to work. They will be charged and tried and whatever. It's just that yesterday I got the message that this had happened, and a friend sent me a message and say, while Ryan, you're staying there and you're saying kudos to the Coast Guard. A friend said to me, well, I'm jumping Coast Guard and we don't know Coast Guard up here and make it joke. So I'm like, yo, Bridget, what going on is you? I called him, I said, Bridget, what I'm too? The Coast, they were able to capture. He said, man, Andre, if it's in Trinidad, they don't capture, they bury. I was like, okay. You know what? You say, Andre, they're on the high seas. You say they're not capturing people on the high seas. They bury them and better still bury at sea. I'm like, okay. But I'm just saying that it happened before Robert, was it with Vincentian?
I'm not sure, I can't remember.
I think it was Vincentian that happened with before. Or with the aid of somebody from Karaku or wherever. But it has happened before, right? And that's what the interesting thing is. It has happened before. And it was foiled again by the police. And they didn't learn. So they come back a second time. This time from Trinidad and Tobago. And foiled again by the police. Now, kudos to the police. Because Coast Guard, of course, falls right on the police. Kudos to them for responding that quick. But one of the things that would have caused them, Robert and Ryan, to respond that quick is because remember that they are on alert because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID has its good and bad because they will be on alert to respond pretty quickly should in case a boat breaches the Grenadian waters, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So they would have been on
positioned, alert and positioned.
Yeah, so kudos to... Did I say thanks to COVID? I didn't say that, did I? No. I didn't say that. But I guess that's why they responded that quickly. And I am just happy. I'm happy that no one got injured. And I'm speaking first here to our officers. None got injured. And the bandits were caught. The only thing I'm sorry about is that we have to, for the next how many years, Bob White, because they'll be in our jail, and we have to do so and
feed them.
Feed them. And you know what is also, yeah, Robert, you're on camera.
Well, talking about being caught red-handed, you were caught red-handed.
Oh my God! But what?
Oh, okay, that was in jest.
That was in good jest. Yeah. But in any event, somebody's saying, "Hey, just imagine that we brought these guys back alive. We have the best police force in the world." I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree that we have the best in terms of that statement. In terms of other statements, yes, we have the best, but that statement, no, yeah, that they cause us, we have to do something, feed these guys for the rest of their life. They ain't coming out that day. I understand that, Ryan, and this one make for a good player, Ryan. That the locals in Karakou that they threw stones after the guys.
Oh yeah.
And the guys responded with the gunshots. So they were pelted. Yeah, I'm understanding they were pelted with stones.
Well, you see, in and of itself, that might have been a distraction.
And caused the police to be
yeah,
able to
because
catch
then if you had to defend yourself, I mean, albeit, excuse me, albeit you had greater firepower, right? But you had to defend yourself if you're met with a barrage of stones and things. You had to probably even shield yourself, and that could have prevented them from getting away as quickly as they otherwise might have been able to.
Yeah.
So kudos to the stone pelters.
Yeah, man.
It worked in the Bible and it worked yesterday too.
But what? Careful this stone thing. This stone thing is a serious thing. I tell them Marcus Garvey and I'll get it. Who's them?
Yep.
Careful. We ain't making joke at all with the with this stone thing. We're good at that. But let's wrap it for the time being. And as we say, congratulations and again thanks to the RGPF. And I hope the bank, Robert, because they made away with monies. I hope the bank would make a sizable contribution to the police benevolent, is that the word, Ryan? The Police Benevolent Association? If we do have a welfare, they call it welfare here. And I hope that the bank would make, because this is the second time. Come on. Let go something on the police. I mean, the money was insured anyway, so if you had lost it, you would have gotten it back. You get it back, you have to say to the insurers, look, we need to give, speaking of what we hear, insurance.
Yeah, that was a way to slide into.
We are with our friends this morning talking insurance, of course. And we know, we're not talking that kind of, Robert, who insures monies like that? Your company?
No, this is a product that is offered by the companies that do casualty, property casualty, that sort of thing. So yes, that would be companies that what we call do general insurance. Yeah.
But that would be a very expensive thing, wouldn't it?
I can't speak to price in terms of. I remember when I was involved with a financial institution, we did have those things. But again, it depends on what amounts is being secured. Obviously, if you're securing $100,000, it will be not the same price as if you're securing 100 million. Or if you're making provisions for 100 million. So I guess it relates to amounts.
Ryan, have you ever come in contact with insurance like that?
Well, that would fall under theft, general theft or general insurance. But I think in the financial industry, you have like banks have, in the United States, they have the FDIC, which is a body that governs and would take care of, that would fall under that body. So in terms of the actual insurance, that would be general liability under theft.
Here's somebody from Trinidad, Robert, sending a message for us on our social media page. And it's saying, good morning. They should have been buried at sea. Now some ridiculous lawyer from TNT would come and defend them. And that's somebody who's living in Trinidad, who's making those statements. But anyway, it was our plan and still is our plan to speak retirement, pension.
Yeah, pensions.
Pensions. And I'm sure... Excuse me, I'm sure that you're aware of that too, Ryan. You were briefed on that?
Yes.
Now, speak to the issue of retirement planning, pension planning. Speak to that from your perspective, from where you sit.
You mean me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, pension would fall under the retirement section of the financial plan. So in the United States, you have qualified plans and you have non-qualified plans. So on qualified plans, you have the pension. And pension is basically means the company you work for going to put aside a specific amount of money for you at retirement. People call it gratuity, people call it different names, but basically the same thing. They say if you stay with that company X number of years, at that time of retirement, we are going to pay you X amount of dollars for sometimes the rest of your life, sometimes for a specific time period. So it all depends on the contract it is. So that would be what you call the pension plans. We don't have a whole lot of those here in the United States. They kind of give way to the more common 401k plans that most company give out here. And 401k, the difference is that you as whereas with pension plans, only the employer that contribute to those plans. On the 401k plan is a joint endeavor. So you put certain amount of normally from 1% to 15% of your salary, monthly salary into that plan, and the employer would match up to generally up to 3-4% of that into. So at the end of at retirement, you get that whatever that value is, and you are vested in that. The only difference is in pension plan you have a specific amount of money you're guaranteed to get. On 401k doesn't is not guaranteed. All depends on what that value is at that time. You would determine with an advisor how much you would want to take, how long you would want that last, and so that's basically your two graph in the general, the big picture. Now, retirement plans, 401ks or employee. If you're not employed, there are other plans that are available to you, like IRAs, annuities that is available to you, and those also fall under qualified plans, meaning that you put before tax dollars in it, and non-qualified plans, meaning you put after tax dollars in those plans. So that's in a big broad brush. That's what it is.
Robert, we don't have 401k here. What do we have?
Well, what we do have here, we do have an
And
NIS.
before you go into your substantive contribution on that matter, let me usher in and bring up Stan Phillips. Stan, good morning to you. Nice to have you.
Good morning, Mr. Donald. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning there, Stan.
Hey, Stan, morning.
Right.
All right.
Robert, please don't leave me
Hey.
to the wolves next time. You did that to me last week.
And again this week, it appears.
You're doing that again today? Ryan
No.
is there, so I have company.
But Robert, he didn't tell you that after you left him last week, he stayed on until 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's what he meant, left him to the wolves.
Yeah.
No,
That's
Stan
what
was
I
out.
meant.
No, that was voluntary, Stan. You chose to stay.
Okay.
Everybody run, but you're playing hero. What?
Well, I learned my lesson now.
All right, Stan, we're talking retirement this morning, and I was just going to ask Robert to comment, and after Robert would have commented on it, then I would expect you to put in your 2 cents. Robert?
Yeah, you and Ryan kind of jumped into sources of funds for retirement, which was actually the second point I wanted to raise. But I wanted to establish first what is Ryan did that too. What is retirement? What is pension? All right, and it's essentially just the guarantee of an income during your latter years, the years when you're actually not physically working. So, in as much as we need cash now, every month, if we're employed, there is a paycheck coming, and our life is based on our standard of living is linked to that paycheck that we get. Now, there is a time coming when we will not be employed again. The retirement age in Grenada is now 60, but it is gradually going to get to age 65. I think by 2032 or somewhere thereabout, it might be, or it should be at 65. So it means that after 65, you will be not employed again. Your company would retire you. You might get a big golden handshake or not. You might get a big farewell party or not. But what we're sure on is that you're not coming back to work Monday morning.
That's very harsh.
It is. And some persons have not grasped yet the importance of planning for when that time comes. And that's why this program is designed to do this morning, to alert persons that there is, if you live long enough, that is, and we would like persons to live long enough. But if you do, there is the reality that one good day you will get to an age where, come next Monday, a company that you might have been with for 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, irrespective of how long, they would say to you, it was nice having you, but your tenure of service is no more.
So it wouldn't be like the sign at the airport, nice having you, please come again.
No. Well, come again maybe as a guest, as a shopper, as a what, but not as an employee.
Not as an employee anymore.
Right? And while there are many facets to this thing, including one, the reality or the financial side, the reality that you're not going to get paid again as of next month, but there's also the psychological side of it. Now, we don't plan to delve into the psychological side of it this morning, but we probably would on another program. Right, guys? But this morning, we want to look at the financial side. So you would need to have income to replace that now which you have lost by you not getting a paycheck at the end of next month because you're no longer employed. Now, where is that money going to come from? And that's where you and Ryan actually started the conversation in terms of sources. So there's monies from personal accumulation. Folks, we have to save. We must save part of our monthly income as a matter of course. And again, we can go into our next program in terms of how, we look at opportunities for saving and the psychology of savings and all of that. But the point is, you must save. If you put it this way, if you bake a bread today and eat all today, well, come tomorrow to bake again. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But if you left over some bread from today, then you have something to eat maybe for tomorrow and then the following day. It's a similar principle in saving. If you save some of the monies that you make every month, then you have something that can accumulate for needs down the road. One of which is retirement. Investment. Again, it's important to invest. What type of investment you do? This program this morning is not designed to go into in-depth in terms of investment opportunities, but to create an additional stream of income, because one of your streams of income will be your monthly pay. You know that money comes every month. But he who has 2 or 3 or 4 or many more streams of income is going to be way better off because you have the guarantee of monies coming from different sources. Well, unless you can do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 jobs, and in some cases, some people do part-time jobs and they accumulate into 2 or 3 or 4 opportunities. Unless you can do that, then it is the next way you can make income is to have money working for you. So investments, right? And you could also have your personal pension arrangements. So you could start a savings plan, or you could start an endowment policy, or you could start a pension plan, but it's something that you're doing personally for that time when you're going to be retiring. Then there's Social Security, NIS, and Ryan kind of touched on the topic in terms of the American equivalent to our national Social Security down here. And for those persons who are fortunate enough to be with a company, Ryan touched on that as well, right, who has organized a pension arrangement, because some company have it. They say, listen, as a matter of course, you are working with us. We concern about when you get to that age where you can't work again, what do you do? How do you survive? And some companies will say, okay, there's an arrangement where you can contribute to this pension arrangement. We're going to match your contributions up to a particular level. And this guarantees you that you're going to have a source of money when you get to retirement. So that's another source. Right. I'd like to leave it here and let Stan or anyone chime in. Yes.
Let's go to Stan. Stan, as Robert said, how do you chime in on this one?
Well, I want to say that the best message you can give an employee, if he wants to plan for his retirement, he has to start as soon as he begins to work, young. Because the longer the period you have to prepare for retirement, it's better for you. Most people wait until, I'm not talking about NIS yet, I'm just talking about consciously deciding to have a retirement or pension plan. Most people wait until maybe 10 years after they start working to begin um, planning for their retirement. So the message is that once somebody gets employed, the next thing they should do is start planning to retire. As I say, insurance
Stan,
takes care of you. Both, yes, you
let
hear
me
me?
just quickly interject here. I don't want to miss that point. You say some people start planning 10 years after they start working. Well, I want to
Yes,
say
yes.
I've met a lot of people who start thinking of retirement 10 years before
10 years before
they're about to
retirement, yes.
retire.
At 50,
Yeah,
at 50 years, yes.
at six,
Yes,
and I tell you, it is
yes.
almost catastrophic because, and
Of
for a
course,
reason that you
of
gave
course.
earlier on. You go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So if somebody starts planning from the time they begin working, they'll have a comfortable retirement. Um, I was involved with American Life, and I know we have approached several companies to speak to them about retirement plans for their workers. And some of them tell you the workers don't want it because it means taking monies out of the pocket. And I remember saying to one particular employer, if the contribution is $150 and you put in 75 and the worker has to put 75 and the worker refuses or doesn't want it, there's nothing you can do. So I think the trick, or not a trick, but the secret of planning for retirement is to begin as soon as you start working. It might sound as a contradiction. I've just started working. What do you tell me about retirement? But the funds would grow with you, right? Um, in Grenada, very few companies um, speak to the employees about retirement. Huh? In their mind, NIS takes care of that. So they pay a contribution to your NIS, and that's good enough. And some people, it's only when they reach 69 or 59 and maybe three quarters when they're about to retire, and they go into NIS. NIS says to them, well, you would be getting $900 a month or $800 a month. That person have been used to collecting maybe $2,000, $2,500 a month. Their life was built around that income stream, and now they're getting less than half of what they used to get before. That's when, if they're finished paying for the mortgage, that's when the house would need repairs, right? Um, that's when the cost of staying healthy increases. So the demand on your income, or the residual income, what's left of your income, um, cannot match. That's why you find, I don't know if you notice, almost every police officer that retires gets another job. Almost every one of them finds something else to do. Most of them. And we find more and more people, sorry, more and more people are um, working after they retire. My biggest problem, though, is that I think we have been very short-sighted in Grenada in terms of the retirement age. I do not believe, and that's a philosophical position I have, that 60 years is a good year to retire. I think the average person have at least 7 productive years in their life that they can give. That's when they reach the peak of their experience. They know what they're about. They know the job inside out, and you're sending them home because the law says at 60 you should retire. Now, in the private sector, I think they give you up to 65. Robert, I am not so sure.
That is correct.
Right,
That
and
is correct.
some companies say as long as you have strength in your legs, you can work. So I think we need to approach this thing not just from the position of an individual preparing for his retirement, but even the state creating that environment so that at the end of someone's working life, there is sufficient resources that they can live off. Ryan, you can say to us in the States, generally, at what age are people expected to retire?
Even before Ryan, even before you, excuse me, before we come to you there, here's Claire suggesting, even, and Ryan, you might be able to think that because you both are in North America. even when you retire, you should still contribute to a savings, i.e., TFSA, right? Are you able to speak to that?
Well, the take it first part to Stan's question. 65 is the normal retirement age here, but it's not as strict where somebody say, "Hey, you know, you turned 65 today. Here's your bag and go." I think there's kind of a planned, knowing that at that time you come. I think sometimes especially in Texas, here in the oil field, you have people, as Stan said, you know, those are the people at the height of their expertise and stuff like that. The company allowed them to work past 65. No guys who work up to 70 and beyond that, as long as the company allows them. So that'll be a company decision to make. But generally, 65 is the retirement age here. In terms of going beyond retirement and still savings, I think yes, as long as you're able to, I think there would always t- there's always that opportunity to save if you have that to take advantage of it. In the retirement age, when people retire and they get in pension or they get in retirement savings here, and they go to Walmart and work as an example as a second job because they're more bored at home, not doing anything else. They just want to get something to do. I think there's the rules how much you could make after you turn 65, and then you have some of the plannings like IRAs, what we have here, individual retirement account, they call it. We call it IRAs for short. Then if you are taking, you have to take out money from it by 72 and a half. So sometimes the government forces you to take money, even though at the time you may not really need it. So there's both sides of that. You save all this, and you're like, so you have people working at Walmart, they're making whatever they think, say that's enough for what my current lifestyle, but they may have millions of dollars in some savings, and it's like they have to take it. And so we have other estate planning strategies that come to help them with that too. So it's encourage everybody to save regardless of what stage in your life is. If you have it to do, save. Yes.
Yeah, you see, my biggest concern with those of us who have passed the official retirement age
Mm-hmm.
is that no matter how much you save, and again, I'm talking again from a health insurance standpoint,
Right.
no matter how much you save, one illness wipes away that savings. One
Oh
illness.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So my concept of this, I mean, I'm past the official retirement age, even though I look maybe 10 years younger.
No, not a
Robert,
chance. No,
Robert,
don't
I know
even
he'd have
think
said
that.
something.
That
Robert, I
doesn't
know,
happen.
Robert, I
Come on.
know he'd have said
Yeah.
something. So I
Don't
threw
even
that
think
out.
about it.
I threw
You're
that out
taking
for
in front.
him. I threw that out for him. Yeah, yeah.
Stan, I
What
think
what I
that comment was deliberate to ensure that Andre connecting still with us.
yes,
That is still.
I thought I want to make sure you didn't fall asleep. Yeah. So what I usually say is that I think in retirement planning in Grenada's environment, it is very, very difficult for someone to live comfortably on their retirement income. Extremely difficult. Um, those who are fortunate enough to have built their house probably so that they retire around the time when their mortgage is paid, they might have it a little more comfortable. But those who still have to be paying their mortgage after they retire, it's like making two ends meet on a monthly basis. So my concept is this: in as much as it is possible, yes, plan for retirement, but you have the average person who retires at 60 have, in my mind, about 15, between 7 to 10 productive years in their life, right? And in addition to preparing for a pension, if that individual could look to a small investment, right? Some little business that they can do that can at least help to pay the water bill and the electricity bill, they might find life a little more comfortable. For those fortunate persons who've been in the civil service prior to his 90s, what, 90, what time is it? 90
84.
what?
84.
1984. 84. they're burning their candles on both ends. So they're collecting government pension plus NIS. So those persons, in fact, there's one guy who told me he's earning more now that he's retired than when he was working. Because when you add his government pension plus his NIS pension, it's more than the last salary he got. So people like that have it, made, right? But for the average person who have to depend only on their Social Security, the NIS, well, I don't know. I honestly don't know how they're going to be making it. And you hear civil servants crying out a lot about, we have a lot of broke retirees. It's true. So Robert's work as an insurance executive, I call him that, is to help those persons to understand that, especially those younger ones, that what you contributing towards as far as NIS is concerned would not be sufficient. You have to take them down the road, and say to them, look at yourself when you retire, right? This is what you'll get. Even though you take 75% of what NIS, what's your last salary, right? That's what you'll get. Can you live on that? And I'm just stressing the early planning, the contribution at, let's say, 18 or 19 towards a pension would add up at the end of the day when you reach 60. So it's important for Ryan, people like Ryan and Robert, to take the workers. I mean, those who 10 years away, yes, you'll tell them. I mean, they can still put something, but it's pittance. I mean, I've worked out pension plans for people who are 50, and it's $400 they get in at the end of their working life. I mean, what can that do?
Let me chime in here, guys. A little bit of humor. We always get it from Depo, and he said too many people go in as retired men and not retirement. Retired men live in the past. Retirement people look forward in the future, right? That Depo always comes in with something.
Yeah.
But he's also saying that I am retired. Not a bit of humor again. I'm retired and I'm poor and polite. Bring back Society Hall, Poor People Wall Street. And Claire is saying here, that is why people should invest early. And that one is what Stan just spoke about, Robert. The investment early in your future. But does that mean that we have to relook how we sell this thing? And again, I am highly disturbed by the MO of our insurance companies in Grenada. I can speak to Grenada. The insurance companies in Grenada, unless Robert White does not make an appointment to sit and talk to me, Stan, I don't hear about insurance. And that is not doing the citizens of the country any good. If Stan doesn't call me and I will go to buy a new car, and what will happen is that the people who sell me the car might just point me and say, go buy that insurance, they will give you a good deal. And that's it. I do not hear from the different media houses the insurance companies saying, hey, I got you, I can give you this, come in and talk to me, get in contact with my agent. I don't hear this. It's like a society that we ain't spending any monies because you must come. So we're not going to spend any monies to attract you. Am I correct here? Robert, let's start with you.
Well, I don't know if you're correct.
You don't know?
No, on
you
the
sound
point
like
of,
the guy who didn't know that was his voice.
On the point of, you must come. Because let me tell you something. Any insurance company that open the door and sit down there smiling, hoping that they will get persons coming, will close eventually.
No, I don't agree.
Let me.
I totally don't agree, because you must have vehicle insurance, and if you're going to get a loan in the bank to do something, to get a mortgage, they say to you, do you have insurance? well, you need to go and get insurance. And the same bank people might tell you, well, go by that company over there because he or she may be getting a couple of dollars from an agent in that company for sending business their way. I say to you, I can open, if I had the monies or whatever to open an insurance company, I open it and I put penny on top, 2 pence, and I know I'm making money. Johnny Charles could sit in his bedroom and make money.
Let's back up a bit.
Back up?
We're on the issue of pension this morning. So my response to you was in the context of an insurance company doing pension programs, right? Which is usually different, and I speak in the Grenada context, from an insurance company who is offering vehicle, and not many companies offer the two products. In Grenada, there's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 for the most companies who offer you pensions and or who have the portfolio that they could offer pension and life, and then still offer vehicle insurance. Some companies focus on one type of coverage, some companies focus on the other, right? No, I was answering in the context of a company that is offering pension plans. That type of business, as well as because it falls under life insurance and critical illness and that whole range of services, that type of business requires you to sell to people. Very few people walk into the insurance company to have a discussion. And if you're waiting for somebody to walk in for you to have a business that is profitable, you will quickly get out of business because the odd man may come and ask a question. And that's why companies now have agents in the field, advisors who they send out. Go and don't wait till the people come out, go and find them where they are. Maybe there's not enough. All right, and that's a discussion.
But Robert, it's not about being not enough. It's about go and get the people in the field. You, Robert, walking. I mean, okay, yeah, they know that that's Robert White and he sells insurance. But the other person who nobody knows and walks in the field, he doesn't make that kind of an impact. And we have to understand, the point I'm trying to get home here is that the insurance companies, and that is across the board, the insurance companies do not invest, and I'm speaking Grenada here, they do not invest in people. They collect your monies at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter or whatever. They collect your monies. And yes, you're insured, and yes, you have a retirement plan, and you have everything. They collect your monies, but they're not investing in attracting other people to come on board. Like for instance, how you call that the one with the Ryan, help me here. How do you call the insurance company with the ostrich? I'm not hearing you, Ryan. I'm not hearing you, Ryan. I'm not hearing you. Your mic is off. Your mic is, yeah.
You're talking about the one of the ostrich you're talking about? Oh,
yeah, the one of the ostrich with the guy.
Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual. I mean, they don't tell you what they have. They don't tell you everything that they have, right? But Ryan, the one with the duck also, Aflac. Yeah, they don't tell you what they have. But you know that insurance is there. And you probably one day will pick up the phone and say, let me find out what Aflac is all about. Or let me see how they can help me. So I'm speaking in a Grenadian perspective. Our Grenadian companies have never, and speaking insurance, they have never invested in people. People have been investing in them.
But I think, Andre, you cannot look at it bigger. Even here in the United States, you still have companies having agents out there going out and sell.
Yeah,
People not picking up, and
I'm not saying don't, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't. I'm saying Aflac tells me that there's an insurance company out there. When I see the ostrich, I know that Liberty Mutual is there. You know, I know that. But there is absolutely nothing, and Robert and Stan, outside of companies building they have nice new buildings and air conditioning and everything like that, and you have this house and that house or whatever. That's it. They do not invest in people, in getting people to understand which insurance company within the last how many years would have gone into schools and do what Stan suggested,
But I
which
know,
is
and
invest in your retirement 5 years before you start working. Which companies goes into school?
well, I think that's a little unfair because I know when
Unfair. Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because I know Demar Life Insurance. I know some of the other
No names,
companies
please.
have.
No names,
I
please.
know,
No
but what I'm
names.
saying is that I've seen those people advertise stuff to home as well. So, so I don't. I think it's
You
unfair to
have?
say that they don't because
The
I've
company
seen
you
those.
just speak about doesn't exist again, you know. The company
I
you
don't
just
know,
you
but I'm
just
saying
mentioned doesn't exist.
I see
They
them.
not exist. They exist.
Anyway,
They exist.
I have to run because I have to start work in 3 minutes.
Okay. Ciao,
So
ciao, ciao. Aflac.
oh, they need to get you as the new mascot. You do that very well. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good
Take
day.
care.
Okay,
Take
Ryan.
care.
Have a good day.
Okay.
All right.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, good, right.
Andrew,
Yeah.
let me make
Andre,
2 points here.
on the question of publicity or having an image out there, the reality is that in Grenada you probably would get away with saying what you're saying. In places like Jamaica and Trinidad, and maybe to some extent Barbados, which are the home bases of most of those companies offering the products we're discussing today, the presence of self, right? So it's not that they don't advertise. The question is whether or not it's proportionate in the territories that
But it's my money they're
operate
collecting.
in. Yeah,
It's my
I
money
know.
they're
But
collecting.
I'm just saying to you that if you make a blanket statement like that, the company might say to you, no, we spend. If you look at our budget, we spend X amount on advertising. Maybe not enough coming to Grenada, but if you do proportionate allocation, we probably getting what the premium we attract
I tell you something,
is,
Stan.
yeah.
I give you a little one, and I'm not calling any names. I approached a company to do some advertisement, and the answer I got, I was livid. You know, and it's a good thing I kind of learned a little bit as I grew older. I just smiled because of the answer that came from that particular insurance company. When, oh my gosh, and this is what continues to fuel the fire that burns within me. Not that particular occasion, but the fact that what you said, Stan, the companies, they come from these bigger territories. And as you say, they will show you the advertising thing and they say, well, look, we advertise to the tune of $6 million throughout the Caribbean. Now, out of the $6 million, probably $10 fall in Grenada. And that is so unfair because you would have so many people making monthly payments, to these organizations, and their children are not being wooed by the company because the company we go get them anyway. They have nowhere to go. They can't go in Barbados and buy it. They can't go in Jamaica and buy it. They must buy it with us. And that is the problem I'm seeing with our insurance companies. They don't, honestly, in terms of caring about us, I am very, very scared when it comes to use that word care.
But if
Okay,
your
let me-
retirement planning, if your
let me-
retirement planning should not be left to the insurance, I know, Robert, you want to come in, but let me just say this. I think it has to be a national conversation. You see, in Grenada, we find that there are people who are collecting no pension, but they live comfortably because there are people that can contribute, help them. But as we graduate to a new society, as I was telling a friend of mine the other day, my mother's grandmother was able to give her a piece of land, and all her cousins and brothers and sisters got peace. Now she ended up with one piece. She had 6 children. That one piece cannot share for 6 children, and that's what's coming down the road. That the environment we grew up in is changing. So when our children are out there working, there is no fallback for them. I mean, by the time we gone, they are there, and if they do not prepare, society is quite different than it used to be. So I think it's important for people generally to see the need for retirement planning, especially if you want to maintain a particular lifestyle. If you just want to, live big until you stop work and then, go back to pittance, fine. But if you want to maintain a comfortable life, people have to plan.
No, I
And
totally
as I
agree.
said earlier on, yeah, but I'm saying, Andrew, it should not be left to insurance companies. It should be a national conversation. Somebody who
That
just
too, I agree
got a
with.
job, somebody who just started working. I mean, if I have to sell this man 2 policies, he said I have money. I either buy a life insurance or a pension plan. I'm sure there are hybrid products you can sell him. But I'm saying this person has to see the importance of planning for when he is not able to work. Right? I always say life insurance take care of you, take care of people you leave behind. Your pension take care of you. So I mean, these are the conversations we have to have so that people can see the need. Yes, we need salespeople out there, but the individual has to see the need to get that type of comfort package, because that's what a pension plan is about. How do I? Yeah.
I want to address a
Robert had to say
concern.
something. I better let Robert address it first. Speak first. and
Robert,
then
you
we
had to say something on that?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I wanted to make 2 points.
Nigel John, as you speak, who is supposed to be your cousin, that's what he said. I don't know how come your cousin can spell WHYTE and put WHITE. That would never be your
White
somebody.
is white, man. I mean.
No, it is not. It is not.
Let Nigel pass. We'll let Nigel pass on this one.
Morning, Nigel. All right, Robert, tell me.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to the issue, because this issue came up. This is probably about the 3rd time, and every time you are equally passionate, or probably more passionate every time you raise the issue of insurance companies not doing enough to promote themselves in our Grenadian context. And while I agree with that, we have decided as this program, hence the reason for this program, because we have taken it upon ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself, Stan, Ryan, myself. And we felt this quartet of people, with our limited resources, but with our knowledge and our access to the ability to share information, we'll do our utmost to help the Canadian public. So this morning we wanted to do a pension. But if we allow the conversation to go to the lack of sponsorship, or not sponsorship. That was my error, not sponsorship. The lack of promotion and awareness. Right.
Awareness.
By insurance companies.
Because if we're gone after this, Robert, when I say if we're gone after this, after today, today, Tuesday, till next Tuesday again.
Till next Tuesday again, in a conversation.
We need to have something
consistent, continuous thing,
so that people would understand and appreciate. I mean, I'm getting so many comments. It's not fun.
Let me just finish.
You go ahead.
But we are doing what we are doing, and I applaud our efforts. I think, and I'm not doing this because we want to be famous. Yeah, we don't even get paid for this to start with. But we are doing this out of an obligation to assist the Grenadian public, to provide awareness on the importance of financial planning, right? Now, so this morning's issue about pension, we didn't get to speak as much as we want to, because what came to the fore again and took a little chunk out of the conversation is the lack of
that means it is an issue.
It is an issue, I agree, but it's not an issue that we could handle.
It's a burden. No, we have to tell them about it.
And I agree, but the issue that we can handle is the issue of dissemination of information outside of what they are doing. So until such time as the companies get on board, we are plodding.
So you're not seeing us as making money for them. You're seeing us as helping the Grenadian people.
The Grenadian people,
okay,
yes.
Fine. But we're still making money for them.
Well,
yeah, okay.
Sometimes you pelt a punch behind John and you end up hitting Peter. Right? John gets saved, but Peter.
When you pelt a stone in the pig pen, it's the pig that get hit that as ball.
So obviously, I didn't expect that we could deal with this issue one time, but we must come back.
No,
next
we are
week.
going to repeat. We're
We
going to
must
come back. We're
because
going to
it
come
is
back.
such an important issue. And Stan, I want to take you up on that comment. Not take you up, but I agree with you on that comment too. You're right. No, the issue of financial planning or insurance planning, whatever you choose to look at it, is a personal thing. Now, Andre, after being in this business for 31 years, I can tell you that it is not necessarily easier to speak to people because people are the same way. How the gentleman who you have as a client now, who was with you for 10, 15 years and understand now based on experience, how he was when he was 20 years, when you eventually had him to, sit and let's discuss this thing. The 20-year-olds are thinking the same way, that they're young, that they have a whole life ahead of them, that why are speaking of why retirement planning now and they're laughing at you. This old man who come to want to make money and because he's selling insurance, want to have retirement planning and figure, okay, I at 20 years must listen to him about retirement planning. It is not easy. And there are some of us who do it and do it and do it because we understand. And we do programs like this because we understand. And I find Stan getting out a promotion here. We understand.
No, we don't understand at all. Stan,
but we do what we can. We do what we can because because we are passionate about this. Yes, Dad.
Yeah, I went to Aruba to observe or to look at the way they did their national health insurance program. And something that struck me is that the designers said, well, this is our basic package, but there might be people who want more. So apart from your mandatory contribution, if you want to voluntarily pay X amount, then you will get more cover. And I asked myself, I said, can't we do the same thing with NIS? There are some people, no matter what you tell them, they would not buy additional pension. But if there was the option, and again, that is, I've always said that one of my biggest disappointment is that the NIS has not grown in the sense that they have not evolved into a modern institution. They're still operating as if like the time when they were just formed. Unfortunately, they don't like to hear me say that, but I say it all the time. But just imagine, right? Just imagine that when it was like $50 minimum based on your input, if somebody every month consciously put $100 more towards their Social Security, whatever pension they get in, those people getting $1,500 now, when they retire, they'll get $3,000, Some say, that's why I said it has to be a national conversation. It has to be something. What can we do to encourage people to plan for their retirement? I mean, insurance is a good one, right? There are people who have this negative, no matter what you tell them, their grandmother tell them that when a certain company used to send people around to collect money, they paid for 5 years and they had no cover. So they grew up, those children grew up hearing their mother and their grandmother saying that this guy used to come and collect money from me. After all these years, I had no insurance. So people have this negative towards insurance. But I think we have to get the message across. And I have nothing against those persons who 10 or 15 years away from retirement. Absolutely not. But I think the strategy should be, let us capture those persons who are just entering the job market. And you may just find that the package that they'll be presented with would be more manageable to them than when you speak to them, Robert, when they're 15 years from retirement. Because these are the people who just hit them. When they say, wait, no, boy, I'm 45, In the next 15 years, I gone, How much would I get, boy? I need some more money. Let me call Robert. And Robert says, okay, how much do you want to earn? Can you pay $500 a month? Because sometimes that's what it costs you to get what you want to get when you retire. I can't spend all this money. And they settle for, I've seen, like I said, I've seen the proposals where you pay, and at retirement, what you get, Andre, is, as you to use a big word, is infinitesimal. Because remember, unlike a life insurance that pays when you die, as long as you're living, that pension continues. So it's a long haul arrangement. So I think we need to,
You've said-
encourage this sensitization of the retirement planning. Yes, Andy, sorry.
Well, then you're saying exactly what I'm saying. You have a situation here where how many people graduate from TAMCC every year? Sorry, how many people stand on average? You think?
A few hundred.
Upward of 300.
Upward of 300. So let's leave it at 300 people graduating, and out of that 300 people graduating from TAMCC, you would have about 20% of that going off to higher learning, and about 80% based on their circumstances, they decide, okay, fine, I gotta go into the workforce. Correct? You guys agree with me on this one? No.
Yeah. Some of them are actually in the workforce already too.
Right.
But there is the greater number.
They've gone into the
looking
workforce.
job searching.
Now they get into the workforce, and when they at their first month salary, they seeing, hey, what? All the money in my hand, I still live with mommy and daddy. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Well, clothes and what and hang out and whatever. That is what is here. Again, here's where the insurance companies, I go back to them, they failed us because they did not influence these children, maybe as early as secondary school, that this is what you need to do. This is how you need to start planning. And if you plan like this is what's gonna happen to you when you get to 65. So you need to do so and take care of 65 when you are 20 or when you are 25, put it like that. And it bothers me. It really bothers me when I sit day to day, and you don't have to advertise here on Real FM. Yes, many other entities that you can use. But it bothers me, and the insurance companies, they have not moved. They have not moved. An insurance company might quicker sponsor a broadcast of a cricket game. Like if it's only people that listening cricket that is buying insurance. As a matter of fact, it might be totally the opposite. But it is. I get the impression that the minds of the people who control have been is fixated. The insurance companies in Jamaica and the insurance companies in Trinidad and the insurance companies in Barbados, and I'm talking those who have grown out of the soils of these countries. Here's what. The people who control them, their minds fixated on the past. Their minds are fixated on the past, and they're not thinking futuristic and realizing, hold on, it may not necessarily be cricket here. It could be basketball, and that's the audience that we should be talking to. It may not necessarily be cricket here. It may be badminton or lawn tennis, and then that's the people we are talking to. They're fixated, and all they see is the red ball or the white ball or pink ball these days. That's all they see, and that is what bothers the hell out of me.
Let me add here. The issue of financial planning, in my humble opinion, should start even at school. Or should start at home, quite frankly, but should be even encouraged in the school. I don't know if our education system is actually teaching people enough about financial planning or teaching them about financial planning at all.
No, they're not.
So that you spend X amount of years in school with the ultimate objective of to get a job, and then you do finally get a job in future and you get your first paycheck, as you mentioned up there. I don't know what to do with the money. Right, but I had a conversation with a gentleman who had insurance policies with the company, one of the companies I represent. And he said to me, this guy was in his early 50s at the time when we had the conversation. He had two policies with us. One that he was paying $50-something a month, the other one he was paying $40-something a month. Two similar type plans or identical type plans, they were just purchased at different points in his life. And here's his story behind it. He says he got his work. He was, I think, 18 or 19. He got his job. And his father told him one evening, he ain't get paid 110 yet, The first month I'm speaking about. His father said to him, listen, I need you to be home at X and X time. Mr. So-and-so come in and have a conversation with you. The father arranged it. Mr. So-and-so came. They had a conversation. And at the end of the day, the father said, okay, he will pay X. He did not have any input in terms of what his pay should be. He said the money he was made to pay was actually 20% of his salary. And he was livid, but he couldn't tell the father no. Right? So that was the first purchase. He said he get a little pay rise, I think, into year 2 into his job. He get a pay increase. He come home and he tell the father. The father say, really? Okay, you're having a conversation with Mr. X again. So Mr. X came again, and he was made to pay, buy a second policy and pay some more monies. Mm-hmm. At the time we were having this conversation, you know what he said to me? He said, Robert, that's the best thing my father ever do for me. He said, I was not happy. He said, I was mad, but I couldn't tell him no. He said, my friends went off and they were having fun and so, but I couldn't because I didn't have the disposable income that they had because X amount, which was a sizable chunk, 20% of what he was earning was going to pay insurance. At the time we were having this conversation, that man at age 50-something, paying less than 100 between the two combined policies. But based on the time he started in his life, he had over $100 and something thousand that he had access to. I know what that money did. He had a situation where he needed funds, and he said, boy, Robert, I wouldn't go into more details because it's his personal affairs, although I didn't call name, but the circumstances, some people might be aware of. He said, you know what? I would close those policies because, again, by that time he had other insurances, but those original policies were substantial in terms of the amount of cash he had in it, and he was able to use that for a very important family issue. And I'm saying that to say that, again, not based on the makeup of our families these days, not a lot of people are having children and they probably don't have the information, the knowledge to help and guide those children. But the point I'm making substantially here is that financial planning is something that we should be aware of even in our early years. So the extent that even if we start in school, the insurance companies have an obligation to promote their business because that's how they make money. So promote their business with the hope that you get more people on. But there is, I agree with Stan, there is need for a national conversation, a conversation that could influence our education system to bring that. Teach children Monopoly in school, have Friday evenings. Because Monopoly is about money, mind games and money, right? But positively influencing them to understand how money works. We need to have that conversation too, not just about pension, financial planning.
Yeah, the reality is that the pension portfolio of companies is relatively small, and it is relative to most group plans, right? So most of the people who have a pension plan would be people who have access to it through the employer, right? The few people who may have individual plans, Robert would know those creative life insurance plans that have an element that you can use as pensions. So the general public, as far as they're concerned, pension for an insurance person talking to an individual about pension might sound as an out of place conversation, because in that person's mind, look, I just started working. You tell me about pension, right? As against he goes to company X, and company X say, we have two plans. We have group health, and we have a group life and pension plan. And we, our requirement is as an employee, you have to be part of it, right? And that person coming into the job would most likely have to join. I mean, there's an institution I'm part of, and we were discussing on the board the question of a group pension plan, and I was saying to the board that if these individuals have been working with this institution for all these years, the institution should be able to contribute what I call for past service, right? So you come in with a lump sum, because when I saw the ages of some of the people, 5 years to retirement, 7 years to retirement, I said, what would that person get when they retire? But if you can as an employer say, okay, we recognize that Andrew have been working with us for the past 15 years, and we starting a pension plan 15 years later. So we would have to take in consideration past service and make a contribution, a lump sum contribution for Andrew. And some companies actually do that, so that they start the pension plan with a fund, because everybody who's been there for a number of years would have had a sum that goes to them. But I think one of the ways that we can tackle this problem is to help our national institution, which is a social security company, to think bigger, to get out of their comfort zone, the big buildings and the big salaries, and start brainstorming as to how can we be of most service to the captive audience that we have. And I mentioned a while ago the creative way that they do it in Aruba. Your NIS contribution is X amount. If you thinking down the road to retirement, you can pay an extra $25, an extra $50, and your pension would now be X plus Y.
Stan,
so that is what.
They have somebody in line here, and they've been there for quite a bit. I'd like to entertain them, please. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Andre. How you doing?
Not too bad.
2 points I'd like to raise in the financial planning and.
Can you speak up, please, sir?
I said two points I'd like to raise in terms of the financial planning and the fact that we are neglecting and falling short on this regard. The teaching of budgeting in our school from an early age, really early age. Do we actually, by the time you get to primary, are we actually teaching our children how to budget? Are we actually teaching them how to actually apply for a job and go for a job? Because most of the times we go looking for a job and we think, well, what do I have to offer? I wonder if I'm good enough to get the job. And what we don't realize when we go into those jobs, it's actually the opposite way around. It's what does the job have to offer me? What's your retirement package like? What's your pension like? How is upward mobility in your company moved when it comes to women compared to men? Young people compared to old people? What do you do in terms of, do you have an insurance? How do I get into the insurance? What does it give me? How do I get it out when it's time to get out some money out of it? Do we actually teach them how to do this? Or do we wait till, they get out of TAM CC and all of a sudden it's, so how do am I begging for a job or do I just go in and have some confidence? We should be teaching these things earlier. And the brother just raises a point about the insurance companies, and they should move away from big buildings and salary and think bigger. I think we're missing a point. Most insurance company is not out to make money for the people that they're insuring. It's out to make money for the company and their employees and their stakeholders. The people that hold stock in those companies is who they're trying to make money for. That's why they don't ever want to pay out a policy. It's up to the people who are in those insurance companies to demand better from their companies, because it's their money that's paying all these salaries and building all these big businesses. If we wait around for these companies to be benevolent, Andre, we got a problem. If you're telling me you're going to wait for a man to treat you good that you pay instead of demanding better for your money, I will have to say, can you pay me? I would like some of your money. So the companies need to change, but I don't think what the brother said, they're not going to change on their own. we have to make them change, and the school also have to change. That is a bit trickier issue because you have parents, teachers, and students involved in that, and if the parents don't know, aren't aware of the fact that they can demand better and their school need to change, they probably won't. The teachers, if they don't care enough to actually provide that kind of education for the children, they probably won't. The institution called education in Grenada needs a whole upgrade, but who does that? Does it come from the students' part? Does it come from the teachers' part? Does it come from the parents' part? Or the government, which is us? You see the cycle we get in?
Yep.
So it would be nice if any of you guys could address any of these ideas that I have.
Maybe not right now because you're running out of time.
At any time. But
we still need to talk about the weed.
Well, like I said, I'm waiting.
Goodbye.
I have all ducks in line. Like I told you, I got international people that you can put voices to.
Yeah, I believe we're ready to do it now.
I'm ready for you.
Okay, bro. Got you. Okay, thank you for calling. Great.
All right.
Robert, here's someone saying, and I'm going to read a couple of comments, which will be my final statements, then go to you and Stan for final statement, and we all have 30 seconds. And here's someone saying, my mother was a janitor for an institution for 20 years. She was never put on the pension plan because of the amount of her salary. All right. Boyne Luzon. Good morning, Andre, Robert, and Stan. Great conversation. Unfortunately, we do not believe in long-term planning. I have met persons who are planning a cruise in 2025. Culturally, we do not get involved in investments or pension planning. Stan, you're right. Some institutions need to do more to teach and involve persons. And someone says here, what happens if someone cannot meet their monthly obligations in their pension scheme because if they're not working because they've lost their job or or probably laid off or whatever. But here's something to send you guys smiling with from the joker in the pack. You know who he is. Depo, good morning again. Must admit, insurance agents in Grenada have always been the best dressed, well-dressed employees in the workforce. They sell their companies by their presentation, their attire. The only men who wear cufflinks to work and not in an official capacity. You see them, you see their companies, hence they are that successful. You deal with them one now. Depo is a killer.
Depo, I do look forward to your comments, I must admit. I do.
Well, tell Depo I'm not wearing a tie, right, Robert? You're wearing a tie.
and I do not have a cufflink. I mean, I have a tie.
I don't have tie. I have no links. I'm good. I love that one. That one is a bomb.
Yeah.
Final comments.
I think the conversation this morning was very healthy. I think we have to revisit this because financial planning is key, retirement planning is key, and not when this conversation is held, I think the wrong group of people are brought together. We need to involve the younger workers so that they themselves can start planning. Because as it stands right now, if there's a session on retirement planning, you walk in there and you see people who are 45, 50, 55, wrong group. Yeah. So I think we have to involve people from early so that they can set themselves straight.
Robert.
Okay, there's one takeaway from this program this morning. Let's say there are two takeaways. One, that I need to continue with an idea that I had a long time ago, which is to engage the schools, not just to sell insurance, but to sell the idea of planning, financial planning. I heard the gentleman, the issue of budgeting, and that is also part of financial planning. So important, because the younger we start, the better people may appreciate. Not everybody, we will never get 100% compliance or acceptance to an idea. That's how life works. But if we can improve the number of persons or the percentage of persons who understand what this is about and decide to take action, then ultimately 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, we can see a society where there are people around who are not old man and old woman, but rather dignified senior citizens, right? Because the difference between an old man walking the road and a dignified senior citizen is money. It's money. A man who has a home where he can go to and people respect him, as opposed to a man who lying down under a shop. The difference is money, right? So if we want to improve the society and not maybe have that burden on government having to find money to assist with this and assist with that because persons haven't planned well for their retirement or the latter stage of their life, the difference is education for the earlier, the young minds now, and hopefully we could take care of the issue down the road.
Gentlemen, thank you. It has been a wonderful execution this morning, I do believe. The topic has not been exhausted, and I trust that we will return to it. And as soon as we possibly can, Robert, next
Tuesday we'll continue.
Tuesday. So Stan, you know what we're talking about next Tuesday. It's up to you guys to get the angles that you believe we touched and need to rehash again, and new angles going forward in relation to this one. All right?
Yep.
Stan, got your commitment on that, brother?
The topic for next Tuesday?
The same thing.
We continue with the conversation.
Continue with the conversation on
great.
retirement
Yeah.
and things.
Yes, I agree.
The only thing, Stan, are you wearing shirt, Jack?
No.
Man say I'm wearing tie.
I thought you were wearing a shirt, Jack. I thought you were trying to be a revolutionary on the day when all revolutionaries died.
No.
Today's October 19th, you know.
Yes,
the 19th.
that's
all
true.
revolutionaries died today.
19th
That was
October.
today is the beginning of the end of all revolutionaries. Those who didn't die today died between now and the 25th.
Died later. Yeah.
You're not only referring to physical death, you mean, no?
Huh?
You're not just referring to physical death, you mean they
No,
have an idea?
They died. Don't they? Whether it's physical or otherwise, they died. Look at Kennedy Budlal. He's dead.
I just want to, as I raise it, and
Kennedy
I
Woodruff.
want to,
Don't want to do.
Yeah, I express.
I would like to
express my
condolences.
Not condolences.
Or you empathize.
I empathize.
Oh.
Yes, I empathize. It's
I
too
got the
late for
words.
condolence.
I got no.
Well, come on, man. 30 what? 30.
38
I
years.
don't know.
38 years ago.
38.
Oh yeah.
So I empathize with the folks who have lost family members on the 4th. I think our country lost on that day as well. And to the persons who still mourn the loss and still have the pain of not even getting the remains of their family members to sufficiently and culturally and satisfactorily lay them to rest, I empathize with you.
38 years?
Yes.
38 years. So 38 years ago tonight, they will arrest me. I wonder if...
You got arrested.
They will detain me 38 years ago tonight. They will detain me.
You get a piece of everything that passed.
One guy is there. Should I call their names?
Yeah, you leave it alone.
No, they did. Who was driving the vehicle? David Filbert. He was driving the vehicle. Who was there with him? Spider.
Mr. Me.
Mr. Me. And who else? Asipan.
They're falling harder.
Yeah. I'm just saying who was there. And who wanted to kill me? You didn't want one of them put a M52 on my chest.
Oh yeah.
Tonight will be 38 years since he did that. Adrian in Chantimel. Adrian, he pointed a gun straight at my chest and said, "People like you supposed dead." Can't use those words there. And you know who saved my life? My good friend Junior.
Who Junior?
Pachi.
Oh yeah?
Pachi had his M52 and he said, "Well, Adrian, if you kill him, you're dead next."
Yeah.
And that was it. Pachi did that. Junior did that, and to this day, I never pass that way and don't shout out Pachi.
Yeah.
And we meet and greet and you'd laugh at it, but he saved my life. I really do believe, because looking at Adrian, I know he was getting ready to pull that trigger, but he was afraid to death. that is what saved me.
I like that one.
He was afraid. You see, it wasn't. And I said, for the first time I'd say this, Robbie, it was not the bravery of Pachi, you know.
It was the fright.
It was the fright of
the other one.
It was not the bravery.
Because
of
Pachi may not have pulled the trigger neither.
He probably wouldn't have done it. You know, but I can see Adrian going, wow, boy, if that shoot that man go shoot me, I'm not afraid to death.
I ain't taking chance.
I ain't taking that chance. But it's all good, you know. So they let me go the next month. No, later on the night they released me and told me not to go thing. I was playing football in the pasture every minute I got anyway. And then on the first day that PTS started to work, I'll never forget that Tony Wildman, remember him, Darren PTS, and the conductor on the PTS was Miss Joycelyn. So I am seated right in front by me, and my sister knows that I'm going. So I'm sitting there waiting on a bus to come along. And when I saw the PTS coming, I'm like, sis, I gone. I put up my hand. Before the PTS stopped, I was lying on the back seat. Yeah, I was inside lying on the back seat. PTS gone in tongue. I got my mom in church and chill. They couldn't find me. Even if they wanted to kill me, they couldn't find me after that.
But they ain't looking for any church.
No, they ain't looking.
Because they didn't like church.
They didn't like church, so they weren't looking for me in the church. That's where I looked at that movie, Stan, Annie.
Yeah, Annie.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there will be sunshine tomorrow. I looked at that movie for about 20-something times already.
You mean during that period?
Yeah, because that was the only cassette.
Yeah,
that was the only cassette there. The VCR we had that was the only cassette in the rectory. And the rectory was on the hospital line. In terms of power, so power never really went because the rector was on the hospital line. My brother was a coward. I can say that because he's no longer here, but because he's there. And a couple of days after that, you know, when the thing war in full swing, we decided to walk down. That bank right there, Stan,
Co-op?
No, not Co-op Bank.
Caribbean?
No. When you walk down the steps, that was
Cab Bank?
No, it was Grenada Bank of Commerce.
RBTT, yeah.
Ah, that's what it was.
The Bank of Commerce then.
And
Bank of Commerce,
man,
GCB.
When we got there, it's the most money I ever seen in my life. I ain't never seen cash like that again.
Money?
What happened is that they had fired something, destroyed the front of the bank, and fired something into the vault. Right? So the vault was open up.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Okay.
He must be there, I don't know. And they would have taken what they wanted. Just like, if you see money.
Okay, Andre.
Watch.
How much you take?
That is why I say money.
Yeah.
So I getting ready to take it. See, big brother, Larry. No boy. Big brother doesn't want to take it up. But no boy. You don't know watching. I said, who watching now? Yeah, nobody watching. That time nobody know what camera, that camera and thing.
Yeah.
What you're talking in them times, so there was no $10 bills. There's 20s, 5s. They weren't, I'm not too sure if I could remember a $100 bill, but a lot of 20s and 5s are in stashes. Like that. All you have to do is push up and just stuff your shot and run back up these steps, and if you want to take a chance, run back along and then think more. The guy said, no. I said, okay, so we start walking towards where the mall is now. Because we want to get onto Melville. We want to get onto Melville Street. Just before we get to, right by where WeFM is there now, him. Let me go back now. I said, go back. I said, go back. I said, boy, behave yourself. And he's the bigger one. I'm like, no, I ain't going back. We walked the whole of Melville Street. Got to just where the bus terminal is. Stan, remember there was a building there? I think they have a beer shop there now. It had, it's dilapidated, something like that. They had a black steel gate that you had to like fold. Just opposite.
I remember.
Yeah, it's right. It was right at the exit of, is it St. John Street? Yeah, where St. John Street exit. There's a building there. They used to sell pipe fittings and what you have it in that store there, and that whole thing had caved in because you could have seen where they reversed the vehicle into it. So I got the impression that they're trying to hide, looking for cover so as to fight, to offer some sort of a resistance, and they'd used that. And then we went back up, and then the same evening or the next evening, we were standing on Church Street, and here comes Yankees coming up the street, Church Street, left hand side, right hand side,
walking,
yeah. So I'm standing by Lucky Hade, my brother, again, big brother, and they pass us, and before we knew it, Robert, we were encircled.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That was like about 2 or 3 days after the 25th thing, and things started. Before we knew it, we were encircled. And when you look at these people, they are frightening. And it was just around 5 o'clock in the evening, so the darkness is starting to come, kind of. It was frightening. And Harold saying, yes, it was a plumbing shop. See, Harold, I got good memories here. It was frightening. And when the one guy is just looking, and then he goes, "What are you doing here?" So my brother ain't answering, he just did. Like he in shock. So I said, "We just liming for a bit." "What do you mean liming?" "Oh, we're just hanging out here." "Why are you hanging out here?" So I'm like, shut up to this guy. I getting ready to tell the guy something, or someone say, "Andrew, no, don't do that. Don't be a smart aleck now." So I said, "Well, we live right there." "Where do you live?" I said, "Right behind you," because my back is to
Lucky Hat.
Yeah. So I said, "Right behind you. There. Go home." and they part, eh?
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Okay, go home now." I'm like, "All right, Negro, let me step." When I believe that I in front, I see my brother skating going up the driveway. I'm like, what happened to this guy? This guy leave little brother behind, and the guy skating going up the driveway. So went in, locked ourselves in, because mom is in there, and she's like, "Well, come on." I'm like, "Oh, we were just outside there, not very far." And then we saw the helicopter that fell in Tantine pasture. Saw that. And there was a gentleman who cut off a guy's finger and took out a ring. We saw that because we had binoculars. Saw that happen. Cut off his finger and took a ring off his finger. And then we saw the rescue of one of the guys who was in the chopper, because the Tantine grass was at that particular point in time could have been over 3 feet high, 2.5, 3 feet high. So when the helicopter came down, it didn't crash down, it landed hard. And there was some fire from the GBSS end.
To the helicopter?
Yeah, to the helicopter. And then, of course, the rescue went like this. One helicopter came and attracted the fire from the GBSS end. All right, and while they're concentrating on that helicopter, another one with wheels came, landed, and the guy jumped inside of it, and they're gone, and the other helicopter left. So I saw things like that. And then we saw when the what you call them, the airborne division, when they landed on Grandlands Beach, because we had gone up into the steeple. I used to take my brother all about because I know the church more than anybody else, so I up in the steeple and we.
But you chose at that time to go up in the steeple? That could have been a point of
elimination?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm still here. Yeah, so I kind of went up there, and we saw them when when they landed their parachuted there. When the mental institution was blown to bits. We saw that live, Robert, looking at the mental institution, and then it was no more. just like that. We're there, and the first set of jets passed. They came like from the sea. So we standing in the back veranda of the directory, looking over onto the carnage. The first set of jets passed, and it's only when they reach quite up past Monjolu going, that's when you hear the song, yeah? That's how it is. And then the next set of jets come, and it's like they laid eggs.
You just saw things falling
You
from.
just saw things coming down from them, and it wasn't like something that had an engine behind it going. You just saw these things just descending. And then bloom. There was no mental institution after that. That's what happened. That just went bloom. I'm like, wow. You know, I was a Grenadian. My brother was a Yankee. Yeah, he back in the Yankees. I back in Grenada. He said, "Oh, you couldn't handle us, but we couldn't handle him." But that was kind of like, it was fun for me that time because it was still school time. I mean, I was still going to school. You too. You were still going to school, Robert?
I was
still going to school.
No, 83, no, I left school.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a big man now. Yeah, so I was still going to school, and that was like, it was like fun for me. You know, looking at it, it was really fun for me. All these things, you know. There's one guy, again, I wouldn't name him, but he drove the Land Rovers that Cable and Wireless had. He drove every time he drive and gas done, he leave that one, then he come back and he take the next one. Yeah, he's from the Carnage. The guys on the Carnage would know who did that, but I ain't calling nobody.
He was what, just having fun, or he was part of the?
No, he was just. Well, do you say he was a bad guy? He had a scar on his face. That's all I'd say. I just leave it just like that.
Oh, Scarface.
No, well, if you want to call him that. But he was just yeah, he was just
enjoying
himself. Depot, do you know who that is? Depot say Wolf Militia took it down. Wasn't no soccer match that day. Okay. I know there wasn't a soccer match. Hope you didn't find the communion wine we used to hide there. Depot just leave me alone. He talking up in the steeple. That's where they used to hide their wine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Depot knows the person who drove those things, those Land. He drove every one of them till the gas done. When gas Roger reaching Grandans and gas, then he come back and take a next one, he got it again. But Depot wouldn't know that. Yeah, those are fun times, right? Depot saying he had to arrest the counters. So, but that it was fun for me at that age because at age 17, 18, me ain't really bothering about anything. I have no care in the world. And that's how it is. But as you say, Robert, I empathize with the folks who would have lost loved ones at that particular point in time. But I said to myself that I was not going to do, and this is not that I forgot, I was not going to do anything until people like Dave Bartholomew, Cecil Prime, Hewitt Lane, Callistus Bonaparte, Bernard Cord, until people like that come out and talk to us. We invested in them, meaning we paid for them to stay in prison. We paid for their education while in prison, most of it. And we invested in them because we gave them their life back. We gave that back to them. They have given us nothing because they have not told us what took place. They have not told us.
Yeah,
and until they tell us, October 19th will just slide by for me, and I'm like, one love to those who died, hope they transition well, and that's it. Until we are told what went wrong, because we have never been told what went wrong. Stan, any comments?
No, I was. I probably was speaking Swahili when you were having your adventures. I was not in Grenada. I was in Tanzania at the time.
In Tanzania at the time.
They weren't here.
Yeah. Robert?
No, I wasn't there.
Robert? Final words.
I read a book written by Ewart Lane. Is it Ewart?
Yeah, Ewart Lane. E-W-A-R-T.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking I got the pronunciation okay, but want to make sure it's him that wrote the book.
Okay. He wrote one, Callistus Bonaparte. I think Callistus Bonaparte would be the one they call Abdullah.
Abdullah, no.
Yeah.
So it's the Goat.
Abdullah's one is not. Did Goat write the book?
Who's Ewart Lane?
Ewart Lane is Headache.
Headache. That's a Headache. Yeah, that's the book I read, and it is his account of what happened. I still believe that other persons need to write, or even if they don't write, need to speak so that there could be a corroboration of the information. So we know, okay, this is what Ewart said, this is what John said, this is what Peter said. So we can get, because I still believe that Grenadians have not been told the truth. And when I say the truth, I ain't talking about hide this and hide that. I believe there's a lot of information that is hidden, or information that is decided this is how we're going to say it, and that line might have been kept.
And thanks, Depo, not Bonaparte, Bernard, Callistus Bernard. But listen to what Depo is saying here. Again, jokes like crazy. And this is the last joke for the day. Depo, no more jokes allowed. You know, after 83, the guy, Robert, that I told you drive all them Rubers, he went for his driver's license.
So he didn't have it
Hold on, and Stroud, the police. Remember Stroud?
Yeah, remember
Stroud said, "You got to be kidding." Boy, oh boy, this thing was, I tell you, this thing was fun. It was real fun. For me, it was fun. I mean, what is dead for crapo is joke for school children, yeah?
That time I up in the country frightened like hell.
Nah, that time I in the church, I hide him. I know they ain't bomb in the church. Yeah, but guys, it's nice to reflect.
Yes.
It's nice to reflect. Stan, thanks once again. I know you gotta run, Stan. You got things to do. I have to reach out to you in about half an hour. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Stan, you?
Until 10
Yeah,
o'clock,
that's
and then
fine.
I'll
Great.
be available. Yeah. Okay, then.
Okay, great. Bob White,
Okay,
thanks once again. It's been a wonderful morning. Take care, yourself, and God bless.
Same to you, bro.
Okay, great.
Okay, then.
It's real.
Okay,
It's
Robert, take care.
91.9. It's 91.5. www.drealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Dr. Chaitan again, international social skill consultant, reminding you that we should stop every form of sexual violence here in the beautiful island of Grenada.
And me say no make them take advantage of you.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most: your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
When you think of Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, what comes to mind? A reliable financial institution that has stood the test of time. Maybe you think about the convenience and quality financial service they provide. Do you think about their readiness to help you retire, achieve your academic goals, build your dream home, buy the piece of land, or the elegant car? Or maybe the convenience of their different locations, Jubilee Street in Grenville, or the new outlet on Lucas Street in St. George's in the Derek Sylvester building. Maybe you always consider how they're always a phone call away, 442-8602 or 438-4228. They're also online, www.grenvillecreditunion.com. No matter what comes to mind, remember, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is the best place to save and to borrow, working with you to make your brighter tomorrow.
Turn the beat down a little bit. All right, right there. What's this scene, yeah? Girl, you mean, yeah? The way you move, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down. The way you whine, yeah. Girl, you fine, yeah. You move in time, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. I like the way you move, yeah. Round and round is the way you move your hips, yeah. And work your hips, yeah, yeah. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. Down little bit, down little bit. Wine and go down there. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down there. Down little bit. Down little bit, wine and go down there. Down little bit, wine and go down there. Na na na, na 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 na. Oh, wine and go down there. Wine and drop to the ground. Wine and you grind and you bubble and go down there.
Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
Grenada Electricity Services Limited will host its 62nd annual meeting of shareholders virtually on Zoom on Thursday, 21st October at 10 a.m. Each attendee is required to register. To ensure that attendees are shareholders or proxies, registrants must be verified by the ECSE. To allow adequate time for this process, we encourage shareholders to register early. Visit grenleg.com or call Grenleg at 237 for registration details.
Welcome back. Locally, the COVID-19 outbreak, which began in mid-August, has caused a delay to the start of the 2021 National Population and Housing Census by 2 weeks. The exercise, which was originally scheduled to commence on October 15th, will now begin on the 1st of November. In the region, Barbados is in for major tourism business from Europe with the return of KLM Airlines. More in this report.
Barbados is in line to benefit from new markets and tens of thousands of visitors with the reintroduction of a direct flight from Europe. That's the expectation of Tourism Minister Senator Lisa Cummins as she today welcomed the return of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, saying it will provide 20,000 seats over the next 5 months. Senator Cummins said it's much needed good news in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you, Barbados Today. Around the globe, former President Donald Trump testified under oath as part of a civil lawsuit brought on by protesters who alleged they were assaulted by security guards in New York in 2015. Reuters news team has more.
Former President Donald Trump testified under oath for a videotaped deposition at Trump Tower, where protesters who have brought a civil lawsuit against Trump allege they were assaulted by his security team in 2015. Attorney Benjamin Dichter represents the protesters who brought the lawsuit.
We examined Mr. Trump concerning a variety of issues, including statements he has made at various campaign events and rallies that counsel believes encouraged violence at those events or encouraged security guards to engage in violence or the confiscation of property.
The plaintiffs allege Trump's security guards attacked them on the sidewalk outside Trump Tower in Manhattan as they demonstrated over the then presidential candidate's comments that Mexican immigrants were criminals and rapists.
They're bringing crime, they're rapists.
This is an important matter because everybody here is a New Yorker, and New Yorkers know that the public sidewalks are sacred. Just because someone's name is on the building does not mean that they get to dictate what happens on the public sidewalk.
Trump said in a statement he was pleased to have provided testimony in the case, writing, quote, "After years of litigation, I was pleased to have had the opportunity to tell my side of this ridiculous story. Just one more example of baseless harassment of your favorite president." Trump faces several civil lawsuits over conduct from before and during his presidency. He is also expected to undergo questioning in a defamation lawsuit filed by a former contestant on The Apprentice in December.
Thank you, Reuters news team. In sports, England have been ordered to play one match behind closed doors as a punishment for the unrest at Wembley Stadium during the Euro 2020 final. UEFA also imposed a ban on a second game, which is suspended for 2 years. The Football Association was fined €100,000 for the lack of order and discipline inside and around the stadium for the game. This ends the latest update of news. Thank you for listening.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Dr. Chaitan again, international social skill consultant, reminding you that we should stop every form of sexual violence here in the beautiful island of Grenada.
Me say no make them take advantage of you.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most: your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
When you think of Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, what comes to mind? A reliable financial institution that has stood the test of time. Maybe you think about the convenience and quality financial service they provide. Do you think about their readiness to help you retire, achieve your academic goals, build your dream home, buy the piece of land, or the elegant car? Or maybe the convenience of their different locations, Jubilee Street in Grenville, or the new outlet on Lucas Street in St. George's in the Derek Sylvester building. Maybe you always consider how they're always a phone call away. 442-8602 or 438-4228. They're also online, www.grenvillecreditunion.com. No matter what comes to mind, remember, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is the best place to save and to borrow, working with you to make your brighter tomorrow.
Turn the beat down a little bit. Alright, right there. What's this scene, yeah? Girl, you mean, yeah? The way you move, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down. The way you whine, yeah. Girl, you fine, yeah. You move in time, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down there. Don't little bit, don't little bit. Whine and go down.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. As you know, on Tuesday mornings, we join for GIS, for the Cabinet press brief. And based on indication, it has already started. We join them for that in progress. Stay with us.
One direction. It shows, and it has been proven locally, that vaccination reduces the risk of getting COVID-19. In addition, it reduces the risk of becoming severely ill due to COVID-19. It reduces hospitalization and deaths due to COVID-19. And also, vaccination adds to the number of persons in the community who are protected from getting COVID-19. In the grand scheme of things, this makes it harder for the disease to spread in the community. And we get that concept of herd immunity. Also, and finally, vaccination reduces the spread of the virus that causes COVID-19. And in so doing, it reduces the chances of the virus mutating and possibly becoming more resistant to vaccines. So we really need to get ahead of the curve. And I want to encourage persons who are not yet vaccinated to go out there and get vaccinated. Take that decision to protect yourself, your loved ones, your household, your workplace, and your community, right? This is a collective effort, right? And always remember, you need to combine that with the public health and safety measures. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. Members of the media, just quickly, because Dr. Charles has to leave us shortly, if you have any questions specific to what she presented this morning, you may ask those questions now by indicating either by a raised hand or a quick message in the chat. So just to repeat, Dr. Charles has to leave. So any questions? Okay, Mikey Hutchinson, I see you have a question. Please proceed.
Okay, good morning to the panel. Good morning to Dr. Charles. I noticed you mentioned that there is a decline in persons who are taking the second dose of the vaccine. So I know that you take your first dose and then you take a second dose. So what happens to those persons who have had a first dose and they would have missed that window that was given to them to have the second dose? How long after missing that window are they considered unvaccinated?
Thank you for your question, Mikey. An important question. There has been a decline in persons coming forward to receive their first dose, as well as the second dose. Now, in regards to the AstraZeneca vaccine, now persons that lack that period between your first dose and your second dose, based on guidelines, manufacturer guidelines, is 4 to 12 weeks. As it relates to the Pfizer vaccine, that period is 21 to 28 days, right? And we strongly encourage everyone who have received the first dose to come to receive your second dose, because you will only be considered fully vaccinated 14 days after receiving your second dose of a 2-dose regimen vaccine. Thank you.
Any further questions for Dr. Charles this morning? Nancy Maguire, good morning to you. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Do you have any understanding as to why people that have taken the first dose are not taking the second? Thank you.
I just want to clarify, there has been a decline in persons coming forward for their first dose, and as well the second doses, the uptake has been, declining as well. I mean, for persons, I would say this, there are different reasons for the delay. Most persons will come forward, but there is a delay in doing so for the second dose. But as to identify any specific reasons, I can't pinpoint any specific reasons at this time.
Gerard Joseph, I see you have your hand up. Go ahead with your question for Dr. Charles.
Good morning, Dr. Charles. Good morning to the rest of the panel. Dr. Charles, you have highlighted the period. What is the quickest period in terms of those who have received their first dose? In terms of them to become, well, to be noted as being not vaccinated. In terms of, okay, that person who have gone 3 weeks ago, the 21 days is up. How many persons stand to lose that status, that vaccination status?
Thank you for your question, Gerard. So you don't lose your vaccination status. There are certain categories you will fall into. For instance, somebody who have not received a dose of any vaccine, they will be considered as unvaccinated. If you had received a first dose of a 2-dose regimen, you would be considered partially vaccinated. If you receive 2 doses of a 2-dose regimen, 14 days after your last dose, you will be considered fully vaccinated. And if we did have a 1-dose regimen vaccine in Grenada, and you would have received that 1 dose, you will be considered fully vaccinated 14 days after. So I just want to clarify the status is either you're counted as unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, or fully vaccinated.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. I think we have one other question. Mikey, you have a follow-up?
Yes, I think the answer is a little unclear. That is why we're getting the same question asked in another way. So after, Dr. Charles, after you've had your first dose and you hesitated, it was supposed to be 3 weeks after the first dose, or the other, in another case, 12 weeks or so. But that time has elapsed. It has elapsed to about 2 months, 3 months. What happens then? If that person has to be considered in terms of their vaccination status, is it that they have had a first dose, but now they will have to have another first dose again because the time between the first and the second is too far away, so they have to take another first dose, quote unquote? What happens in those scenarios?
Right, I understand now, Mikey. So I will tell you this, right? Once you received your first dose, you do not need to restart the regimen if there is a lapse in that recommended time period, right? And the 2 time periods, you have as much as 28 days with Pfizer and AstraZeneca 3 months. So you do not need to come back to restart your regimen if there is a delay. If the time has passed and you come forward, you will receive a second dose and you're not restarting to get another first dose, to answer that question. Thank you.
Okay, I trust that is clear now for everyone. Or do we have any follow-up questions along that particular line? If we don't, I'll move on to Linda Straker.
Well, actually, my question is follow-up along that line. Just for clarity purposes, if a person who has up to 3 months to take the AstraZeneca, but waited 5 months, do they still have to just take a second dose, or they have to restart? I think that might make it quite simpler. And then secondly, a few weeks ago, there were a shortage of AstraZeneca. Can the doc tell us now approximately how much we have in stock And so that could that be responsible in a way for persons not coming forward because they're not aware that AstraZeneca is now available? And what is Grenada's stand on mixing vaccines? You have one AstraZeneca and another one Pfizer. What is our stand on that?
Thank you, Linda, and important questions. I just want to clarify that, and you give a time period, right? Once you receive a first dose, right, you do not have to restart the regimen, right, if there is a significant delay between doses. When you come forward, you will be counted as receiving your second dose of the vaccine, all right? And I hope that made it clear. Now, as it relates to AstraZeneca, we do have AstraZeneca on island, and we are offering 2 persons. In terms of the AstraZeneca stocks, I would say to you that the uptick with Pfizer has been significantly more than that with AstraZeneca. All right. In terms of the stocks we have currently, I would not be able to give you that number right now, but I can always relay that afterwards. Now, in terms of mixing vaccines, there is very strong evidence that shows that the immunity or the protection you get from mixing is good. And it's quite significant. And, they had made comparisons with person receiving their first dose with AstraZeneca, getting a second dose with an mRNA vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna, and vice versa. So that protection or level of immunity you get is just as good. And in some instances, reports that has been that it is a bit better. In terms of our position, we support mixing, right? So a person can receive a first dose with AstraZeneca and they can get a second dose with Pfizer and Moderna. And the reason for that is that there is a strong body of evidence to support mixing vaccines. So the Ministry of Health do support mixing.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. I don't think there are any further questions for you from members of the media. But before you take your departure this morning, I'd just like you to reiterate the importance of being fully vaccinated. I mean, it's fine to get the process started, but even more so to finish the process and to be considered fully vaccinated.
All right, thank you. Again, now it is very important to receive both doses of a 2-dose regimen. Because remember, after you receive 1 dose, your body develops a certain level of protection. But to get that full protection from vaccination, you need to complete the 2 doses, right? And that is very, very important. So I want to encourage persons to come out there and get their second dose, and even come forward for the persons that are not yet vaccinated. Come out and get your first dose of the vaccine as well. Remember, I may sound like a broken record, but vaccination is extremely important, and the evidence supports vaccination for centuries, right? Vaccination is very important in combating infectious diseases, and COVID is an infectious disease. Look in our region, the region of the Americas, we don't have to worry about measles, we don't have to worry about polio. But to date in Grenada, our last case of polio was in 1955, but we still see persons living in our communities with complications from getting polio back then. Right, so vaccination is extremely, extremely important, and it must be coupled with other measures. Remember, vaccination does not prevent exposure. What prevents exposure is wearing your mask, and all of these things, wearing your mask properly, right, social distancing, right? Vaccination gives you a preventative measure. Vaccine primes your immune system so that if you become exposed to the virus, your body will react to it, right, and it's able to fight it. Your body already knows that virus, so it knows how to fight it. And for that reason, I encourage everybody to come and get vaccinated. COVID does not respect person. COVID does not respect race. COVID does not respect country. And throughout this pandemic, we have seen that. And now we have a safe and effective measure. Right now, this pandemic is being called the pandemic of the unvaccinated. So I want to encourage the general public. I want to plead with persons in the general public to come out there and get vaccinated. And I want to encourage you to continue to practice those public health measures, right? Wearing your mask properly, hand sanitizing, and social distancing. Because the science clearly shows that those interventions work, right? And this is the only way we can get back to some form of normalcy. I mean, when we look at the percentage in our population that is fully vaccinated, right, it is just about 29%, and that is our overall population. If we take it into account a denominator of 113,000, right? So that is still very low, and we are still exposed in Grenada. We are still at risk. We are still at risk of getting another outbreak. So we really need to improve the level or the rate of vaccination in our country, especially when we are talking about, going back to a sense of normalcy again. Vaccination is critical and it is crucial in that process.
One other question for you, Dr. Charles, before you leave, just to go back to a question that was repeatedly asked this morning, and to follow on from it. Now, is there a difference in the level of efficacy of the vaccine if you wait longer than the recommended period to get the second dose? So if I have to receive Pfizer and I don't take the second dose until maybe 35 days later, is there a difference in the efficacy of the vaccination?
As it relates to the efficacy of the vaccination, what there is, and the question that should be really asked, during that time period, that 35 days you did not come forward, I mean, your level of immunity or protection is not significant because you only receive one dose of the vaccine. So during that time, you're still exposing yourself quite significantly, right? And I would say if you're going to do something, do it all the way. Because let's say you receive one dose, and this is hypothetical numbers. Let's say one dose gives you 40% protection, right? For that entire 35 days,